This show is sponsored by Singles Sealed Memorabilia. Find them on Instagram at Singled Sealed Memorabilia or on eBay. Search for the username Singles Sealed Memorabilia. They are turning their collecting hobby and passion into a shop dream, bringing a variety of wrestling cards to collectors all around the world. They also create their own mystery bundles and bring other unusual cards to the graded scene. They have 100% positive eBay customer feedback with over 3,000 sales. We do thank Singles Sealed Memorabilia for their support of the Squared Circle Relics Podcast.
And now, presenting from across the pond, it's the Squared Circle Relics Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 33 of the Squared Circle Relics Podcast. I'm your lead host for the show this week, and as always, joined by Lloydy, the Long President, and Chris the Long. How are you both doing? All right?
Very good.
Amazing. Yeah,
I like that. Hello. It was verging on Doubtfire. I did like it.
I'll learn from the best.
How you guys been? Are you all good?
Yeah, not bad. How you guys doing?
Nothing, nothing, no damage to report, I think, over the last couple of weeks. I think it's been pretty okay, yeah. No broken foots. Screaming baby in the background. No broken foots or concussions. It's been good. Yeah. No.
Well done.
No illnesses either. It's great.
Are you
Yeah.
are you all fully healed concussion right now? Are you like all clear?
I think I've developed a drinking problem, but I think that was always there in the first place. Hey! No, I joke. I don't want to joke about drinking problems. No, it's fine. I'm fine. Really, I'm all good. Yeah, I could do with probably another 3 weeks sleep in one go, but I think all parents have got a 1-year-old. That's the case, right? But other than that, all good. All good.
Correct.
All good. What do you...
Speaking of...
Again, I'll make a mental note here.
Speaking of
1-year-olds
getting some time away from our small people, I'm actually going on holiday tomorrow without the kids. Can you believe it?
I didn't know about this. What's going on?
No, well... So,
no,
Dave, get ready for Dave to call me posh again. I'm going to Centre Parks again. Only for like a Friday to Monday. But yeah, first time away from the kids in like 3 years.
So just
or
you and the
something.
missus?
So I'm going to sleep. Just me and the missus.
Yeah,
I'm going to sleep.
I don't think that's all you're going to be doing.
Sleep. Yeah, wink, wink.
There is that, yeah.
Yes.
Have a nice time, Chris. Where are you going, Eldon or Woburn?
Yeah. Do you know what it is? It's because I'm a massive child, and when we went before with my family, no one is like capable or like they had kids or whatever to go on any slides or any of the cool park sort of stuff. So I kicked off as a massive child I am, and was like, I just want to go down the slides. So we're going. So I can go down the slides.
I don't know adults can go down there. It's awkward.
Definitely. They can on their own, like I did last time. A fucking loser.
No, just pushing them out the way.
Your kids? No, none of them.
Homer Simpson going down the slide. I'm not saying you're that fat, but that would be hilarious. Oh, good God.
But yeah,
good times. Good times. I wish I had a holiday coming up. I haven't no holidays in view now.
Sorry.
Probably until next year.
No. We had last week off just potting around and doing bits and pieces, but we've now got nothing until the holiday renews in January. And it's like, this is a long slog till Christmas, isn't it? Like from September through to December. It's a long
no bank holidays, nothing like that.
Nothing booked, you know.
Just wish a monarch would die or something.
Sorry.
Something. You know what I mean?
We would still have to wait though, wouldn't we?
Never mind. Yeah, of course. Talk about dead monarchs.
Of this show, anyway, in some ways.
Dead monarchs.
So let's go through our normal bits and pieces. We'll go through what I've been watching. Have you even seen anything? Lloydy, have you seen any Impact? Let's go round as we normally do and see what we've been watching.
Watched a bit of AEW. Just catching up past All In, really. See what the dealio was with, obviously, the punk stuff, post-punk stuff. But I don't think much has changed, really. From what I think, obviously Collision will change, but I think but will it change for the better or the? It was more WWE like, wasn't it, Collision than AEW? But is it going to be more AEW going forward? Is it going to have that feel to it because of the Bucks and Kenny and all of that lot? Probably will have their say in it. Going forward. So, I don't know.
It felt very dynamite-y last week. It felt very fast-paced compared to previous Collisions. Yeah. But, I think it will see with that, really. It seems to be... It's just getting into this post-punk world, I guess, really, isn't it?
Post-punk world.
But that's it. I haven't watched Impact. I know I missed a pay... I think I've missed the last couple of pay-per-views, to be honest. And I've watched no WWE either, to be honest. I want to, but I don't have the time.
What about you, Chris?
Very, very similar to Dave. I've caught up on AEW up until last night. I haven't watched any WWE. I know that what was the pay-per-view they've just had? I can't even remember the pay-per-view name. Payback. Yeah, I didn't watch that.
I don't think a lot happened, to be honest.
Yeah, so just AEW, really. How about you, Jamie? Have you watched last night's one yet, or not?
No. So I was in the office today, so I've not seen any of this week's Dynamite. So I don't really know what's gone on. So I can't even I
didn't even look at the spoilers.
The only thing I've seen,
I haven't seen.
Well, I've seen one thing. MJF doing the Scott Steiner promo. The math one. Yeah.
Oh, really? In what context?
Well, he's talking about Samoa Joe. Obviously, they're going to be having, so he's doing it that. And
okay.
It was pretty much a carbon copy of Scott Steiner's original one in Impact. So
I will add, before we move on here, because you've just mentioned it, I did ask the question of what's next for MJF. It's the guy who lost the Punk. There's some great matchup for you, isn't it? The guy who lost the Punk at All In is now fighting MJF. I mean, to be honest, Joe's great. I love Joe. He's not got it. He had the steam, 15 years ago, 10 plus years ago.
10, 15, yeah.
Not now. And for him to be the next matchup for MJF, it's just not for me.
But I don't know, I kind of disagree because of the history with him. Because of that push in WWE, do you know what I mean? It kind of, at least they've got some kind of story.
MJF is going to come
story there, isn't there?
There's no risk of him losing anything.
100%.
You know what I mean? So
No.
It was the answer to the question that we had from the last show. We now know. Yeah. Is it inspiring? I don't think it's that inspiring, to be honest. But
no, I, even still at this point, okay, you go through Samoa Joe expecting that nothing's going to happen with him. You've still got Adam Cole there, but there is still no long-term thing with MJF, is there? Really, there's nothing.
I said it before. You need a yin and a yang, didn't you? To make it successful, you need that yin and yang. And he just Cole's not that anymore, really, going forward. Not in the maybe long-term future, but not for the foreseeable future. And what they're just going to do, put whatever they can do in front of him until something sticks. That's how it feels like. They're like, well, we're going to see what works coming up, and then we're just going to go with that. But that seems like AEW a lot of late, to be honest. So...
Well, they're ramping up bloody pay-per-views as well. We've had I don't know, All In and All Out was a bit of a weird one, but we've got Wrestle Dream at the 1st of October. Then we've got Full Gear pretty much like a month later. It's a big turnaround compared to what we've been used to as well, which is.
But they should be one a
month.
month.
See how we get on. I think
the amount of they've got the same depth of roster as WWE have. In fact, at one point last year, they had more people, active members on the roster than WWE had, and that includes NXT and everything like that. So I'm just thinking to myself, well, what you've got to get to a point where you take that next step, and I still don't think they're there yet. But to be viable and to move forward, they have to do it at some point. But I kind of like that they had the spread out pay-per-views personally.
So did I, yeah. I quite like you had the long build between pay-per-views and it's like you got a full story arc. But you're definitely right there.
It felt like a bit more of a big deal than having the one a month thing. I just, I quite enjoyed it the way it was.
Yeah.
But having that rota of people come in each month, like even with All Out, like how quickly that was built over, and you still had a pretty decent pay-per-view bowl accounts online.
The thing is that WWE painted themselves into a corner with all of that, having like Hell in the Cell, Extreme Rules, those gimmicky ones that they have to do, and it's like there's only a certain amount of times you can do those gimmicky matches before it's all been done before. It's the same. And that's where I think they've been going for a long period of time. But, you go the opposite way of having few and far between pay-per-views that aren't really that gimmicky. There's a few gimmicks in there, but not overly gimmicky. And people crave for more. So, I don't know, man. I think it's definitely a balance. We'll see.
Yeah, I think AEW is quite cold as a product at the minute as well. So it's whether or not they can get some more fire in from a good run of monthly.
More RVD. More RVD. That's what we need.
But just talking about more real glass. That's what we need in our lives. More real glass. You mentioned about moving forward and stuff. We had the news break this morning, overnight, about Jade Cargill potentially going to WWE. What are your guys' thoughts on her moving on?
I'm not sure, in all honesty, because I just feel like she's not ready for WWE yet, maybe. I just don't think you could do the same thing that she's done in AEW in WWE, and anyone, I just don't think people would buy it. I don't know. I'd like to see her come in at NXT level and kind of work her way up, but
I think she'll benefit more going from NXT level and working her way up.
Yeah.
Jamie and I discussed this on our chat earlier on this morning, to be honest, on our ATP group. But ultimately, it's a difficult one because I think she has the look, the personality, and the skill set, rightly or wrongly, for WWE over AEW. However, WWE have many times fumbled the balls with outside personalities that come in, outside known personalities that come in, wrestlers, whatever, that come in and they fumble the ball. Sometimes they do great, sometimes they fumble it. I fear that they might fumble Jade. Even that sounds rude, I know, I apologise. But there might be some fumbling going on. However, I hope for the best if it does happen. Trav and I have always been really high on Jade from day one, really. We always thought she'd be a great talent for them, to be honest. I am surprised that this is actually, it looks like it's going to happen. I think it's a big missed opportunity for AEW, but yet again, with their division, where does she go next? With the title run that she had, the winning streak that she had, what does she do next in AEW other than start fighting men?
I was thinking about this more after our chat earlier. So exactly like you said, like she has got everything. I do worry if she went to NXT, she needs to have that developmental side to her. But I think as a star, she's too big for the current NXT crop. So you kind of have to get on the main roster.
You say that, though. They put
ready.
Kevin Owens Kev down there. They put a Shinsuke in there. They're not afraid to... I know.
That was old school when
Bobby Roode.
Dream Indie NXT.
I loved him in there.
But I don't think they're scared to do it. But the personality just flows out of her. I mean, Jamie, you put comparisons to Bianca, which I can see, obviously. But ultimately, she's got a hell of a lot more personality, in my opinion, than Bianca. So I think that she has all the tools to do well, but whether or not is up to WWE if she goes to them.
I think the big thing with her, like you said, if she stayed in AEW, although she has gone through a hell of the roster in that TBS run, there's still a lot of the main event women's division that she hasn't ever got tangled up with. And again, it's like, I don't know. I think WWE is going to be the long-term move for her. I just don't know whether or not right now would have been prime. I'd always heard things online that she was always keen to go to New Japan or develop, and people always said that she needs to go elsewhere and then come back.
I completely agree with you, to be honest,
bigger skill set, but
I completely agree with you.
WWE offering you big bucks.
I think the best names in the world have always gone to Japan and learnt their trade, and I think as well as you can say with the Japanese guys. The Japanese guys going out as the young boys going out to like the UK, for example, they've always done well. Look at Jay White as a recent example.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially someone like Jade as well, who's still relatively green and won't have any sort of bad habits that she's kind of picked up, literally green. But it would be interesting. There's lots of people wondering when she might appear if she does go to WWE. But one to watch. But we'll get back to Jay Cargill later on in my purchases this week. So let's move on to card news, as we always do. Card news. So I haven't got any WWE.
It's breaking news. Lloydy coming in. Let's rewind. Go on, Jamie, do the rewind sound. You're very good at that.
It's really good.
So I spoke, as I do, I speak to Johnny quite a lot from the CFP. A couple of weeks ago, he said to me that he would love to. He loved collabing with us. He loves collabing with us. That Japanese special that we did with us was one of his favorite things he's ever done. So he said, "Look, if there's anything we can do in the future, he's up for it." So I had this idea. It's been running around my mind for quite a while. In fact, when Worlds Collide went, i.e. decommed recently, I did reach out to Mr. Morning and said, well, I would have carried on the show knowing that I had this idea. Obviously, he just wanted to do it with his good friend Tony, and decided to decommit. So I canned the idea until Johnny raised the possibilities of collabing with us in the future. So I pitched the idea to him of what I had. You boys kind of knew about it. I had told you boys about it previously. I didn't know what format it would work in, how would it work. Johnny loved the idea. So we set about thinking about, well, if we're going to collab between, obviously, the CSR boys, who else would we collab with? What would we do? How would we do it? And we came up with an idea. Getting the right team together, a new stable, a new direction, something new, definitely for sure. So I'm proud to announce that we are going to have a new show, a YouTube show, in the near future. I'm not going to give much more away. I'm not going to give the name of the group that we've created. I'm not going to give the name of the show that we've created. We've all decided on it. We've all had input. So there is six. I can say though, there is 6 of us. So the 3 of us here are part of the group. Johnny from CFP, Trav Fowler. We speak about him many, many times, and he comes with a wealth of podcasting experience. And Graham Reed, the wizard, Graham Reed, will also be on the show as well. So rest assured, we have been busy as busy bees are so we're currently in pre-production. We've been working our asses off to get this off the ground over the last couple of weeks. We're not sure when it's going to drop, i.e. pre-production, production, and then out into the world. Probably around the holiday times. We'll try and get it before. What we're actually doing is creating a series. So it's going to be episodes. How many episodes per series we still need to determine. We kind of know what the first series is going to be, but more news on that to come. But it's a massive thing that we're trying to do. Obviously for you guys, for us, for everyone. We've got people from America, Canada, and the UK working on this. It's the first time I've seen that happen as a collaboration. It's going to be huge for us. I don't know if it could be huge for the hobby or anything like that, but ultimately it's other than starting this podcast, it's the biggest thing that we've undertaken. It's taking up a lot of time and resource right now from all of us, but it's going to be worth it. And I've always thought to myself, what's next? I can answer, this is next. So boys, Chris, Jamie, how are you finding the team? We all having fun?
I'll tell you what, we were putting back the curtain. We had a Zoom call last week, then we have our first meeting together. We'll sort of get to know each other, sort of see how we all sort of got on. Was there any awkwardness? And we actually all just got on straight away, and we started already getting into what we were going to be discussing. And we're like, no, we'll save this sort of thing, So, and I think also as well as like interesting hearing like all our different skills and what we're good at, what we can help with, what things are interesting, that sort of thing as well. So, really, really excited. It's just now sort of getting over that next step and think, right, we've done this, let's crack on. And it's just eager to get going, but it's just letting it work its way through, really,
it's been a week, but we're deep into pre-prod already. Like we're all the minds are working. We're producing stuff. It's going to be ready quite soon, I think. So,
yeah, and we've all kind of got our individual roles within the team. I will just say, so Jamie's part of the tech team or the tech side of it.
Tech team.
So I had a problem the other day. Yeah, it was tech team. I had a problem the other day. Ticket opened, resolved within 10 minutes. Amazing work, Jamie. Thank you. 5-star review as well.
My sales as well.
So we've got Graham and Jamie on the tech side. We've got Chris and Johnny on the producing/directing side. I don't know which one you've both chosen to do yet, but a bit of both for all of them, and a bit of both. Trav and I are doing the writing basically. So it's just exciting times, to be honest. I'm a cynical arsehole, and we discussed whether or not to talk about this, but I spoke to Johnny.
Yeah, hold up. Didn't we say no?
I
think it's Jamie surprised me. What are we doing this?
I thought I'd give you a bit of a surprise. Blindside. Yeah. So I spoke to Johnny late last night, and I said, look, I'm a cynical bastard, and I don't like talking about stuff because it doesn't come true, but this is going to happen. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
This is not a maybe. This is going to happen, and this is what we're working on now. So I thought about it. I thought about it last night, and I thought, right, I'm going to say something when we hit card news, just because it's big, man. It's big for us anyway. But yeah.
I'd been thinking about it today, though, and I was like, but wait, we said obviously we were going to keep it hush for now, but what if Johnny mentions it on Card Foundation?
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, maybe we should mention it.
But yeah, I mean, like...
Either way.
It's, it's the most exciting thing that I think we've done so far, apart from starting this show. And it is going to be fun, for sure. This is pure entertainment. And if it works how we think it's going to work, it's going to be amazing. So
I had Sean Rossap message me this morning asking if he can get some insider knowledge on this new program that he'd heard about, and I said I can't divulge anything. Who did you hear it from?
But yeah, I mean, like, it's fantastic as well that we've got representatives from 3 nations as well. You never know. In future series, if we do it, we might even have more nations. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Australia, that'd be
Australia.
The one guy who listens to us in Australia. Get him on, sign him up. But yeah. Sorry, Jamie.
No, I'm. Thank you to our reporter on the ground there. Lloydy the Long
Lloydy.
Long Lloydy.
So yeah, exciting news on our side of things. I guess we'll update as we go along. I think as we get a bit more clarity.
I think when we get closer to
as and when, I guess.
You know, I don't think it'll be that long, to be honest.
A big reveal. So let's go on to normal card news. I've not put any release date stuff in here because we're kind of in a bit of a lull with things, not coming out for some time. But there is a lot of other card news been out in the last couple of weeks, as there always is. So nice and simple. First of all, match dated moments. We had a bloody quick turnaround of 2 lots of match dated moments. We had All In, and that appeared during the week after All In, and then we had All Out pretty much landing a couple of days after All Out. Did you guys pick up anything? I know we were going to be talking about going quite heavy into All In for obvious reasons, but what did you guys do?
They're like buses, aren't they?
What did you get, actually?
Like, one after the other. You know what I mean?
It was the wrong time of the month for me, I'll tell you.
So All In, I got the set, and All Out, I just got the silver take shitter, Takeshita. I can't even fucking say his name. Takeshita. I got the silver one of that from off him from All Out in a trade, actually. So yeah, but All In, I was very lucky. I hit the gold on the second pack. So yeah, I was very, very lucky.
Oh wait.
I was very, very unlucky.
Always happens between me and Chris, though. One of us gets lucky and the other one doesn't.
So this is it.
It's sometimes that works.
I'm going to have to do it again. So I bought packs 30.
No, what? To get the gold?
I still didn't fucking get it.
No.
So I have something like 9 Darby Allins, fucking 12 acclaimed. I did get 3 silver pages, but yeah, I still wanted the fucking gold. So I went all in on All In, but then All Out, I bought... what was the base set? I think it was like 6 cards, so I bought 6 packs and got 5 of the 6 base ones. So, and then I said, fuck match dated moments, and I logged out of Epack. So, what about you, Jamie?
Man.
Well, I didn't go in as heavy and All In as I thought to. I've done a bit of a Charlie Bucket. 2 packs. That's basically what I bought. It all landed wrong for me last week, really, with sort of when it arrived. I was like, do I get a couple? And then very kindly, Matt Dawkins offered me up another one that I needed. So I've got half
Jamie,
of the set. I haven't got any silvers and golds.
If you need any of the set, just let me know and I've got enough. Got plenty.
Well, I might hit you up and
Sweet.
good brother you up. Yeah, I didn't go as mad into it as I intended. I started obviously seeing how you guys were kind of doing in the chat about your golds and silvers, and I thought it's all over the place, like the ratios of this here. And then All Out, and honestly, I totally forgot about All Out. I didn't see it. I didn't buy the cards. So, yeah, I'm a bit behind with match day moments, but we did have this kind of idea of what we thought of
before you go into that
big event. What did you
the ATP at one point with the golds? We had 15% of the of all of the match dated moments golds.
No.
Yeah, we had 4, didn't we?
I think
Matt, Wes.
Yeah, Matt, Tommy,
yeah,
Dave,
so
and
4
Wes,
of us that had it.
And I had about 33.3% of the fucking silvers for Soraya. Because I had 3 of them.
All right, Scott Steiner.
Exactly.
So sorry, Jamie. Yeah, it was
Right. No, I just sort of started seeing it unraveling. Obviously, like Tommy was getting well and truly, I need to get another pack. And it was just unraveling before us. I was like, this is getting dangerous. I need to walk away from this at this point. But yeah, no, I think overall, image-wise, I think they had
I love the gold.
Relatively good images. Anything that you would like to have seen, or anything that was missing that you thought?
I think the gold and the silver had to be what they were, because I mean, I love that gold.
I disagree. Yeah, I would have wanted to see the Soraya as the gold and then Will Ospreay as the silver. 2 British people all in, and just would have made more sense.
Confetti, it's all pretty.
I wouldn't know, Dave. I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it.
Obviously, I have seen it, but
it's a very pretty card. It is a very, very pretty card.
It is, yeah. One of the ones I would have liked to have seen, and it's probably too out there, is the Mox with the skewers in his head. I think that would have been an amazing card.
To be honest, I would have preferred the picture of them 2 at the end of the match when they're flipping each other off. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that
was funny. Yeah. But
yeah,
I could have done without the FTR one.
FTR, we've already had so many.
The acclaimed one is one of
Same.
my favourite ones that they've done, though. Is so
acclaimed,
good,
spot on. Yeah,
so
I like
and that could have been a silver as well.
Yeah,
you know, that was a big moment for the acclaim.
Couple more that I would have.
I would have liked.
No, you do.
Sorry, no. So I would have liked to have seen, being obviously the event that it was. I know it's always about like the winners and stuff. I would have liked to have seen some of the entrances or something, like to
Jericho coming out the
Jericho
stage and with his band behind him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have minded.
Or like the Young Bucks with the confetti
That
going
was
off
cool,
behind them and stuff.
Or
That
CM
would
Punk
be quite
walking
nice.
out the door, never to return.
Or Jack Perry speaking to the camera.
Did you see
Looking at the camera.
being the elite? They had a picture of the glass, of the broken glass. Like, it was just a very short clip. Picture of the broken glass and a picture of Jack leaving the stadium in the back of a car. And this was before, obviously, that Punk got fired. And I'm like, they're still digging at Punk? Like, why are they still doing that? But I think they probably knew.
Yeah, I think by this point, I imagine they may have been involved in the board somewhere. I would have also liked to have seen a Nigel McGuinness announcing the attendance. I think would have been a nice sort of classic image or something, even if you just had the attendance. I know it's all been a bit fucked up today, but nonetheless, that would have been a nice one to have.
Twatting Double J
or like
the guitar.
Yeah.
Or like a top-down shot from that helicopter that was going all day of the stadium, like we had in the early Gold
92.
series from the early 90s. That would have been cool. Or Samoa Joe calling CM Punk a wanker.
I think all of these cards would be.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
The after dark MDM set.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong though. Like, they can do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It all depends on which kind of route they would want to do. But
because these are a bit different because they're not going out in packs to like kids, are they?
You'd need a card. You'd need a card.
Only.
You'd need to be over a certain age, unless you're stealing your parents' card in order to do that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
We've had images before, haven't we? Lots of blood. We've had like the dog collar match and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's unusual.
Was there a Moxley one as well at one point, I think?
To be honest, the all-out one,
bloody ones.
That was quite a bloody one. The gold of that had Orange Cassidy and Mox, and Cassidy's face is bloody to pieces. So yeah,
fucked.
So I don't know. I mean, like, to be honest though, I'm happy with the silver and gold. I love the Acclaimed. The base, I think it's one of my favourites they've done. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Yes, I think overall it's been a home run. It's just always nice to see what you would have liked to have, you know. Before we move on to a different topic, just want to keep on the AEW side of things. So do a bit of a rewind. We had AEW Metal. 2 weeks on, obviously, when we last spoke, it just kind of hit Whatnot, and it has sort of been fairly fresh. We had it in the big topic. 2 weeks on, how are we all now feeling about Metal now it's been out? Are we still as negative on it? Or, you know, I think, Lloydy, you've obviously been a bit more involved in Metal. We made,
well, we can link it into the CFP
2 weeks
show as well, right? Because ultimately they had Billy Celio on talking about the actual product as well. So obviously, if you've listened to the CFP show from last week, I can't remember what episode it was. I'm going to say 135? 130 something.
And I'll let you know.
You've got it. 135.
135, you're right, yeah.
So if you've listened to the show, you obviously hear Billy Celio, who makes these products for Upper Deck, designs them. So he did say on that show that he would love to come on our show and talk to about cards. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. We're not going to have them on probably the next show. I haven't reached out to him yet. I will. Give it some time. But I think it's fitting that we have him on the show, really, and talk to him, because we talk about AEW so much. And thank you, obviously, for the CFP boys for helping that happen. You know, so massive props to Johnny and Danny for
and for asking out mine and your questions on there as well.
They did.
Yeah. So we finally have an answer to, you know, the relic thing.
I think people were a bit disappointed that it wasn't more direct at Billy. Some of the questions were, but ultimately we spoke about it on the last show. You can't be like, "Oh, Billy, mate, what's all this shit about? Hey, what the fuck, mate? What the fuck is this? What the fuck?"
Yeah,
you can't.
exactly.
They have a relationship with them. You've got to be respectful.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. And he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
You know
He's trying to do good for the hobby, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that our interview would be more pointed. I'm not sure how it will go, to be honest. But what I will say is that obviously it would be different to what CFP would do. We've already come up with some kind of framework of how we would do the show. So it probably will happen in the future, but just probably not on the next episode, guys. Give him and us some time, and then we'll get something sorted out. But it's lovely for Billy to say yes. To link that back in with Metal, I think it's weird with Metal. I think it is a good product. I think Billy even said it's a very complex product, which if you get it, you'll love it. Like the more you get it, the more you understand it, the more. And I think that's the same. I think it's very similar to Series 1. Series 1, 2021? Was a very complex product. I think Metal is exactly the same. However, with complexity comes confusing people being very confused. And I think there has been a lot of that going through.
Yeah. That hasn't seemed to slow down either. I've noticed that as more product has got on the secondary market and a bit more out there as opposed to just being on Whatnot. It seems to be a lot of people picking up the same issues and not just an isolated case of something. And even like the collecting side of things, it seems to be people are now finding it tough to collect certain things rather than others. And, it's one of these things as we get more of it. It's just trying to identify what you like and what you don't like, really.
The big things that I think we need to talk about more with him is basically the quality control with regarding how they're going to improve it going forward if he knows. Because ultimately that's been the bugbear of a couple of sets. I think it's been up and down. I don't think as many issues hit say Spectrum as it has hit Metal, right? But ultimately, I think maybe talk about a bit more about that with him, about Metal, and about what they're going to do to improve to a law and past the law. So yeah, I think there's many positives with Metal. I actually do like. I've said to you guys on our chats very, very often, I think retros have got a shot for being card of the year.
And there's a lot of them this past week in the ATP chat.
Everyone loves them.
There's been a lot of conversation about them.
There's not a bad. My only nitpick on it, but it's a nitpick of the whole product. Like, it does feel like the images on there are like a sticker, because they're obviously like imposed onto the card basically, and it does feel like you could like rip it off, but obviously you can't. It feels like you can, but you could. I don't really want to. I've got like 5 of them now. So I definitely think that's a set for us to complete in the future. Retail is hitting as well. See a lot of love for the premium sapphires. So I think they look a lot better than the standard golds that you get in the hobby. They're quite shiny and very nice, and I think they're going for a pretty penny, some of the big ones at the minute. So I think there's a lot of positives, and I think obviously the oh God, I can't even speak today. Precious metal gems, the PMGs, whether they be green or red or I want to say gold, which is the one of one. I'm pretty sure it's gold.
Yeah,
I think they are going to be one of the chases for AEW going forward, and the prices suggest that now, and I think they'll probably stay around the same. The big ones I think will even get higher over time.
I think they may be even more desirable than some of the stuff we've had in Spectrum and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, I think these PMGs are going to be go-to cards in the future. I think there's the PMGs for everyone in the product, right? So, I saw like a Mark Henry one go for like $11. You know what I mean? So, there's going to be some that are not going to be so priced well, but that's just because who they are. But I think the bigger boys, like the Kenny Omegas and Moxes and people like that, the Sheedas, I just think the sky's the limit with them, really. I think it's great. I'm less keen on so I like the look of I haven't had one in hand, the Premier Sapphires. But I have seen a lot of the greens and the reds, like the out of 50 and the out of 10s, the rubies ones. Yeah. Rubies. I'm not a massive fan of them, to be honest.
They're not sort of fetching the same sort of prices as, or really even close to the PMGs, are they?
They feel, especially the red ones, they just kind of like poor man PMG kind of thing, you know what I mean? But I think the PMG, the red ones especially, they pop so well. You know, they're brilliant.
Yeah. The actual artwork themselves as well, like, is cut out really well. It looks a nice card, doesn't it? It just really is.
So I think for me, it's just a success. I think that obviously we covered it last week. You know, the problem is twofold. It came out too late, and there's quality control issues, which has compounded the fact by it's late. So And you can't get away from that, you know. One thing I will leave on, obviously, so we asked questions to Billy Celio, and the CFP guys very kindly read them out. Chris, the reason I mention this will become evident in a second. So, Chris, I think you asked about the fact that they don't really prioritise UK.
I asked about UK distribution, basically, and he just, which is fair, he kind of palmed it off and said it's above his pay grade, so is what it is. So don't hold your breath, guys.
But it's something that we can dig in with him anyway, with regard to absolutely representation that they have over here.
And Tony Khan saying AEW is the market leader in the UK. Do you know what I mean? So
I think we're getting to a point of, if not, why not? But we're now hitting the why not.
Especially when we have other upper deck products over here, don't we? With no issue.
So the other question, and it's a long-standing question that we've had on the podcast for many of a moon, and it is very simple. Your relics, they are numbered on the back of the shirt relics. There's no indicator, there's no numbering, no lettering to say that there is an indicator that there is that person's shirt. How do we know that it's that person's shirt when you say on the back of the card that it is from a shirt worn by the said person? So we know that Panini do have numbering on the back of the relics and lettering to denote who is it from. But which we found by ripping open stuff. So so Billy did say, and it has been answered, that the fact that they cut it. They don't cut it up. They put the shirts in bags, and then it gets it gets labelled and stored in the warehouse until it's cut up and put into cards, basically. So there you go. It's not breaking news because they said it on CFP, but it's nice to know that they actually how they do it. And I think a lot of what we need to know is the processes and procedures that they do with this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I do find that fascinating though, like even like that bit of background stuff, like the fact it's just like they wear it, it's in a laundry basket with a sticker name tag on it, and that's it. It goes on its way. It's
very cool that
it's very interesting.
We get that kind of feedback from him as well. I think it's taken a while to get us there, but thank you for CFP for sorting that out for us. But ultimately,
that's cool.
I just want to know about their QC and how it all works and how they're going to improve it. What's their plan for the future? So, more to come on that, hopefully. More to come on that.
We shall see, yeah. Just a couple more news items, really. The first one, which we can probably talk about in a bit more detail down the line, but something I wanted to mention. Whatnot, as of course, over the last year, has got a hell of a lot of traction. We've now got UK sellers on Whatnot. It's becoming a big selling space, but they're now accepting Klarna as payment. So for anyone who isn't aware of Klarna, it's kind of, it's that ability to pay.
I thought it was Irish money for a second.
And loads of places are doing it. If you're
Sounds like it, doesn't it? I'll pay on the Klarna.
It does.
Who the fuck is this guy?
But Whatnot, Klarna. What do you guys think of it? Do you think this is a good idea, a bad idea?
Nope.
Do you think it helps people?
And then Klarna knocks on our doors and says, "Oh, can we sponsor you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a great idea." No, it's not a good idea. It's a very slippery slope. You're gambling with money, basically, if you're going on breaks. I haven't got a problem with this. Whatnot isn't just breaks. Do you know what I mean? Like people just buy on there anyway. I get you.
And any company, eBay, you can do pay and free. Any big company, they have Klarna. Do you know what I mean? It's always an option. I understand the problem that it raises. Do you know what I mean? But it's the same in anything. Do you know? I just think it's up to the individual person to know where
I kind of agree with what you're saying, but ultimately it's people still need to know their limits. And what I use it for is basically gambling. And I could never say to someone, you're gambling with it, because you can either... I've been on breaks recently. I haven't won a fucking thing. So, you know what I mean? So, from my point of view, for what I use it for, no way.
Yeah,
no way.
That makes sense. That does make sense. But another thing I was kind of thinking is, how much longer do Whatnot have all this business for? Do you know what I mean? You've got fanatics that are in the same space, and look at what they've done with everything else. They've taken everything else over. I just think Whatnot as a company, as a business, I just go, I'm right, let's just make as much money as we can in the now, and then, do you know what I mean? If business drops, at least we've made as much as possible. So I understand it.
I think if you're making a big purchase on Whatnot for, say, a hobby box or a particular card, then I kind of get that sentiment that you can then make that big purchase with Klarna. I think, like Lloydy said, there is a massive risk of being able to just bid on stuff and then just put it on tick just because, just because you want to try and get some big names.
The gambling side of it is scary. And one thing I wondered about this just quickly is, if you signed up to like William Hill or Betfred, they don't have Klarna, right?
No.
Or do they? I don't know. I don't think so.
No, not
so. It does kind of raise that issue again. Like, maybe you shouldn't be able to use it for breaks, but then how do you differentiate? It's just, it's a hard one. It's difficult.
The thing is, I don't think people see breaks as gambling.
I don't know how it works.
But it is. And I don't think that Whatnot should morally have Klarna on there. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
But how much of their business is breaks?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
honestly, no idea.
And you can't do Klarna. You know, if you're buying a spot, then obviously you're paying it outright, but you're still getting to that gambling side of things, aren't you? It's not like you're buying a physical card there and then. It's it's going to be one to monitor. I think Whatnot are maybe taking a bit of a risk by having that in there in the first place. Because again, I don't know if you can do credit card on Whatnot either.
I guess you can.
Tried with a credit card, but I guess.
Well, you can go through PayPal and you can have a credit card on PayPal. So I assume you can actually.
Okay, so maybe they do. But I just want, because the same kind of thing with match dated moments. It's like, could you imagine doing Klarna with match dated moments? Like that's pretty much the same kind of concept there, really. You know. Just an interesting note.
60%.
But if anyone is interested and there is a big purchase they want to do, you can now do it on Klarna.
Stay safe.
They all sound
bet responsibly.
Yeah. So interesting on that note. And then just finally, last couple of things about some indie releases and bits and pieces. Corey Bastion was people we've bought from a guy we bought from quite a few times here across the pond. Couple of new releases, been a very busy lad of late. So he's got a new the Domination dual auto coming out. D'Lo Brown and Farouk on that one, which is going to be, I think, landing later on in September. I think he's got the cards printed as we speak. So he's taken pre-orders for that if you're a fan of the Nation. He's also got a Tanaka 8x10. So it's in the same styling as the card ECW set that he's doing, but it is on an 8x10. So again, that's also up for pre-order. So if you're an ECW fan, do get hold of that. And he also had plans to do a Dudley card, which he had gone through the whole process of getting the cards printed and everything else like that. But very sadly, Dudley has completely vanished online and removed all his social media and kind of done a bit of a runner on poor old Corey. So if you were looking for that has been cancelled or on hold until we can get hold of Dudley again, because he had said that it was all going pretty well and they were pretty much ready to send cards out. So, a bit of a shame, because I think he's obviously gone through the entire Dudley family, and this is probably one of the last ones. So, any of these cards of interest to you guys? I know, Chris, you've definitely...
I think Matt from the ATP is
as well, really.
Currently working on buying stuff again from Corey.
I'm tempted on that Nation.
The only thing for the Nation one, don't get me wrong, I love the design of it.
Like all of them.
I just wish it was D'Lo and Mark Henry. Because that, I you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. That was the tag team. You know what I mean. So,
yes. Or even like a four card, or like a 4 or 5 or whatever, with like a few of the, like Godfather and Farouk and those guys.
No, I get it.
But maybe even Savio Vega, he was in it.
He was temporarily. Sure. I think I would have liked. You're right there. Say with the Godfather, it would have been nice to have like a Karma, because I don't think he's signed as Karma for Panini. Has it? It's always the Godfather. So that would have been nice to have that sort of a trio water.
There was a Karma card, wasn't there?
It's cool. It's a nice.
We haven't had one for a while.
I feel like I've seen.
Was it in? I want to say it was in. Not Select. I think wasn't it in Prison? Rev?
I wasn't in Prison. Maybe Rev.
No, we ended up on Slam Attacks.
Anyway, it's been recent that there's been some kind of Karma.
There's been a recent
Karma card, but not obviously signed Karma.
Yeah,
just a card. But no, I'm with you. Nation it up. I love the Nation of Domination. It's great.
Yeah. I think it's nice to see a slightly different era.
We're fisting each other right now.
Yeah, sorry, we're fisting.
Massive fisting.
That's on camera. We're all standing here. So, nice to see another era from Corey. But again, if you want to get hold of them, he's doing deals online for them.
It's one guy,
so
actually, I'd love to
get hold of them.
The show.
And then we.
Just to speak to him about his process of, like, how has he got from A to B, basically.
Yeah,
because he's an actor as well by trade, isn't he? So he's done a few roles in his time and stuff like that. I knew him even before. Like, I saw the guy, I was like, I know that guy, and it's just from his film credits. So yeah,
okay.
I can definitely tell you, I've probably never.
I'd be surprised.
Shocking.
I'll be surprised. Oh, Scream 6, by the way, Jamie. I did like Scream 6. No, he wasn't.
Scream 6. Was he in Scream 6, was he?
I just watched that. I watched that the other day. So if you want to go watch a film, Scream 6.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what I saw last weekend. This is totally off topic. I saw the new Ninja Turtles movie, and it was fucking amazing.
My boy wanted to see
the soundtrack is banging.
Seth Rogen's.
It's really good. Really good.
I've been looking forward to watch that, actually.
Same.
If you like the animation or like the Amazing Spider-Man stuff, it's really good. Anyway, I'll digress. Last bit of card news before we move on to the other topics. Some more custom cards, and these have been out a couple of years now. We've had a few sets of them. These are by KGus61, and it's like the Rising Star sets, and they're kind of like a cartoony looking card. If you saw the artwork, you'd recognise them away because they have been sort of doing the rounds for some time, but they're doing their latest releases online now. So they're doing a limited edition MJF puzzle sort of style foil card. Now, I did check on this morning. There were still these available to buy, actually. So they've got numbered to 25, and they're $40. And they're also continuing their Rising Stars of 2023 set. So that's available still now. And there's also sort of playing card style Rising Star cards. And they've got lots of big names. They've got Logan Paul, Jamie Hayter's in there. You've got all sorts of different people from, the Rising Stars are wrestling at the moment. So quite a cool set. I don't know if you guys ever picked up the previous ones, or are you going to be picking up any of these this time around?
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted because there was quite a few sort of cool people in this. I've got one of these, the Hook one from the last set. So yeah, I might well do. Whether I'll just pick up a couple of singles of a few of them, but they've got a good people in there. There's like Ava Rain. I'm trying to think of who else is in there. Charlie Dempsey.
I've got Grayson Waller in there.
LA9.
Dirty Dom's in there. Yeah. So there's some good names, and the legend ones as well. So the playing cards, there's all sorts of people. There's Mick Foley, Angle, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, DiBiase's in there. And they're a pretty good price. So the Rising Star set is $20. And then there's loads of parallels as well. If you buy more than that, there's chances of getting different colours and golds
metal
and all
cards
that. So
this year, I think
worth having a look.
well. Yeah.
And metal cards, yeah. So, really, really cool. Nice to see something different on the indie side of things. So, Yeah. What about you, Lloyd? Are you going to pick up any of these?
I'm debating on certain. I'm debating on certain custom cards, and more. We'll talk about custom cards more later on as well. But I am debating on what do I need to get basically. With custom cards and where I want to go with them. I've seen these before. There's actually a Bron Breaker one, I think, from the last series. I want to say from the last series.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, it's a continuation, isn't it?
I don't know, man. I think they're great. I think the naming of the actual person who does it, because they do it obviously via like a big cartel, don't they? What was it called? Guston.
So the guy who does it is called KGust61. Wow. That's what his website is.
Could have named it. Could have named it something.
Name. I think it's always just been called the Rising Stars.
KGust61. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I think the world's better off for them existing. You know, I think it's cool that they've got numbered versions of them and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. All good. Yeah.
It's a little something different to chase, isn't it? Which is all nice. So yeah. All right, then. I think that's pretty much rounds up card news. We've been chatting quite a lot about card news, considering there's not been a massive amount of it. But anything else you want to throw into the hat before we move on to our different features for the show this week?
Negative.
Sorry. Negative, right? We'll crack on then. So we'll move on. We'll do Jamie's Corner first of all, just to go through a few bits and pieces in Jamie's Corner. So we'll head over to Jamie's Corner.
Yeah, that was Barbie Girl. Jamie's Corner. Ooh-oh, ooh-oh.
Jamie's Corner. Oh,
the Aqua edition.
The Aqua edition. We're going to get sued.
Oh dear. One day. Let's hope not, anyway. So just a real couple of quick things from my side. So I mentioned last time round the Championship Clash WTC special that I did with Tony and the Chuckster. A little bit of a delay on the release of that. Tony got swept away with obviously being busy with his store and things like that, but it has now gone up on YouTube, went up on Monday. So if you're a fan of wanting to find out a bit more about a classic Flair set in Championship Clash, we spoke for nearly 2 hours, so that's now up. I think the actual episode is about an hour and a bit, but yeah, do definitely go and check that out if you're a fan of looking at some classic Clash stuff. And I'm also going to be landing on the Husker Have podcast. So Husker Have has always been a guy, been around a long time selling singles online. But he wants some people from the UK, and he's kind of doing like collecting from the UK perspective. So I'm going to be on the pod in October just to chat to him about obviously what we collect, what we've seen over here, and just generally the history of British cards. But some breaking news for you guys. He messaged me in the week and asked if you guys wanted to join on it as well instead of just being with me. So let me know if you want to be involved, but there's an open invite from him if you want to hop on. So
I don't think he can afford me, to be honest.
Not in the budget.
Not in the budget, man. Not in the budget.
But yeah, so yeah, he has opened up to you guys if you want to hop in. If not, I'll fly the flag for the ATP on that. That should be airing in October.
You're a man about town.
High demand, mate.
They're everywhere.
So,
it's everywhere. But no,
so yeah. But yeah, other than that, got some competition news. So we done a competition on the Facebook group last week. Put together a little prize pack. So we had the full set of Series 2 Squared Circle Relic pod cards, which we also included a full set of gold autos. So if you had bought the set before, you only got one of the golds, so you could get the full set of golds. An unsigned stock-up card, which again, you'd only get someone normally, so a nice unsigned one if you wanted it. And then a little mix of things that I've been collecting over the last few years. So we've got some Red Waves from Prism 2022, some Pyros and stuff from AEW 2021, and then a couple of Hogans out of my PC. So there's a Hogan Red from this year's Prism out of 299, and our favourite card manufacturer, Upper Deck, in a Silver Hogan out of 35. So shall I rattle through the A to Z, and then we'll have a little pick what our favourite card is and what image we like the best? We haven't got a full A to Z, but we've got a pretty damn full A to Z, so I'm quite happy with this.
How are we picking the winner? Is it on the wheel?
I think it's our favourite. I think we decided our favourite image. So there were some good ones in here as well. So we'll go from the top. So we've got A, we've got Arn Anderson. Then we've got Bray Wyatt as B. So that was Alan Gillingham doing the Bray Wyatt and Kevin Williams with Arn Anderson. Scott Crouch coming with Chrome at C. And then we had...
Can I just ask something about C? Dave, you commented on his thing saying, I would have chose something else. What would you have chosen?
Oh, no, I just said I was surprised that the letter C wasn't used for something else, considering the podcast that we do. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Fair enough.
Then we had Film Rennick for F, and that was another entry from Scott. Then we had Hog for H, and that was Gordo Geezer, our Canadian friend for that. We had EO Sky, and that was Logie Bear at number I for that one, or letter I. Jushin Liger for J.
Number I.
Number I.
Number I.
Mate, it's been a long day. I'm reading I's as ones. Then we've got K, we've got Kaboom. That was Graham Reed, the magician, at that one. M, we had Money, and that was Brian Lyons. We had a wonderful entry from Tommy Redgrave with Nonce for N. They had a bit of a gap. We had Print and Plate for Sam at P. Then we had Rookie, Sam Tier again for his entry for Rookie for R. Tommy had to go for Shids for S. He was straight in there, first comment on the prize ball for that, so that was that one. And we got Undertaker at U, another one for Logan Bryan. Viking, Wes Clark, of course, for the V. Then we had Wanker with Gordo Geezer. Lloyd, did you want to explain what the card image is for that one?
It's a picture of me on a card. With my autograph on there as well, actually. Thank you, Gordo. He did actually reach out to me before he did it to say, do you mind? And I said, go for it. Because that's what our relationship is.
It's very friendly.
Comedy.
And then we had X-Men villain.
Fuck you, Gordo, by the way. He loves when I say it, so fuck you, Gordo.
The Gordo's special. That's all right. Yeah. We had X-Men villain, Brian Lyons again. Then we had You Can't See Me at Y for Graham Reed. And then finishing off Zebra with Wes Clark. So a bit of a mixed bag all the way across through there of all sorts of card-related things. What was your favourite image? And then we'll try and see if we've got a tally of what one we like best.
Go on, Chris, you go first.
You know, I quite liked. I'm not necessarily like saying the image, but I liked how he tied it in. Was H Hog? Well, you said Hog, Jamie, but Hog Auto. It was Shawn Michaels' giant Hog Auto. See, from Gordo.
That's my one as well,
and my one as well.
But I'm really annoyed that the fact that he's won again.
Give it to Gordo.
He always fucking wins.
Okay, if we're unanimously, then
it's unanimous as well. So there you go.
I did as well. I chuckled. That was.
I laughed.
It's a bit like the Liberator card. It was so left field. It suited me. I was like, that's really good. I enjoyed seeing that one. Yeah. But I did wonder if we were going to go down that route. So do we want to have a runner-up prize, and I'll just put a small bundle together, or are you happy with Hog?
Just give it to
Gordo.
He wins.
Clean sweep. Gordo knows what to do in these competitions, doesn't he?
Well done.
So, Gordo, I'll get that out to you tomorrow. I've got your address and stuff from previous prize winnings, so I'll mail that out tomorrow. But that's on its way to you, bud. All right, so well done. I enjoyed doing that. It gave us a few laughs over the weekend, which is always quite nice. So
good fun. Well done, Joe.
So yeah, that's all what's in my corner this week. Chris, I have got on the notes here, obviously, an update on your Chris's Nook, but also it's Wrestling Card Wednesday. I forgot to put that on there, so you can give us a rundown on that if you want as well. We head over to the Nook.
Yeah, let's head over. So, Chris's Nook.
Looking at your notes.
Only a quick update. I'm like,
your segment. So which segment am I on? Chris's Nook, okay.
So it's only a quick update today on how we're getting on. It was Dave's fave, male thirst traps. Sexy men. How are you
Fucking
boys
better
getting
than
on
I did last time round, let's put it that way.
Have you
It's
got
in the
the cards,
post, it's
Jamie?
gone. It's on its way over to Witchford.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
I've had mine for ages, so I just haven't sent it. So I will do.
Wicked.
Worst case scenario, by Sunday I'll send it out. But needs to be out the door. I'm looking at it now. It's amazing. I knew exactly what I wanted to get. I got it. Happy days. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, cool. And mine is also just sitting here looking at me, so I'm saying I need to just send mine out.
Are we under £10 though?
Yeah. Definitely.
There you go.
Jamie?
100%.
Well done.
Yes, 100%. I've also got an update as well. So previous quizzes Nook around the magazine turned up the day after we recorded.
There's
do you
no
know what the
cards.
worst bit is though?
All right.
It's got cards. No, it's got cards.
Oh, well.
But it's folded down the middle to fuck. It has been folded and it's creased and it's knackered.
Don't
So I will
worry
still
about
make
it.
out
It's
to
all
you, but I do think
Please don't.
Please don't.
Don't worry about it.
I am in agreement though. I don't think that is a stunner, although it is marked up as a stunner. It's just like a sleep hole reversal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's. I didn't want to be a dick or anything, but
No, I
I
know.
So I think I would have been disqualified anyway for not providing the stunner, despite what I thought. So there you go. Shocking turn.
Well, at least we've all got cards this time, and we'll have them in hand for the next show for sure.
100%.
Jamie, you've totally sprung Wrestling Card Wednesday on me, so I'm not going to do that.
No, let's move on.
Hardly anyone submitted anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, let's just move on because we've got another little segment up next, haven't we?
Yeah, we're not got no liberation, but we are going to go and have a quick word with our report on the ground, Lloydy.
The president.
Party people.
So no, I mean, like, obviously CM Punk has left. Welcome, Jamie. Cue the music. There you go. CM Punk retirement party. Yay! If the boy wasn't asleep next door, I'd have some party poppers for him. Champagnes, clinky clinky. Well done. Retirement. You deserve it. No hard feelings, CM Punk, at all. But I'm just glad. Better off out of it. Happy days. See you later. Please don't come back anytime soon. Would be nice. No more bullshit. Happy days. It feels like we've got to the end of the journey. We didn't know that at All In. But it makes sense now.
No way.
And I love it.
I've kind of got this idea, this feeling with Punk that waited so long to see him. I enjoyed seeing him when he wasn't being a cunt. Sorry, Margaret. And then I'm now glad to see the back end of him in some ways. I just feel like he was just the disruptive child in the classroom. But the stuff we got out of him at AEW, I really enjoyed the MJF feud and what he'd done.
I just don't think he should have ever come back.
But I don't want to ever see him again now. I'm a bit done.
Ever again. His face, don't want to see it.
Well, I did say to Matt Dawkins, we were just chatting back and forth, and someone had made a little video up of if Punk come back at Survivor Series against Roman Reigns. They said, I've got no one to beat, and then they kind of merged the two together as Punk coming back. And I said to Matt, that might be quite a cool thing, maybe as a one-off to have like a one-time WrestleMania appearance.
This is kind of what I said to him as well.
Yeah, I don't want to see. Because I've got no interest.
Survivor Series is in Chicago this year, isn't it?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back, but maybe on like a Brock Lesnar type deal where he comes in, does a show, and then he's not there. Do you know what I mean?
It's done. Yeah.
I just think he's burned too many bridges.
The other Khan, didn't he? I mean? The other Khan. The WWE Khan. Nick Khan. It's like the Jonas Brothers, isn't it? But more cocaine. So Nick Khan basically he basically said that thanks but no thanks. Like, if you can read into what he said.
I wish you were.
Thanks but no thanks. But I just, what's the point anymore? He's done it. He's shat all over his legacy, as far as I'm concerned. He had one massive moment in wrestling where he broke the fourth wall. There was two, to be honest. He broke the fourth wall, and then he beat Cena, won that title, went out the arena, put the belt in the fridge. Brilliant. You know, if I could distill that and just leave that as my memories of CM Punk, great. Is all the bullshit that followed that over the period of 10 years. I mean, when did that happen? 2010? 2011. So
2011 that was, yeah.
12 years since then. And what have we got to show for it? It's not been great.
Not been great.
And it's tainted my memories and my everything about him, really. I never want to see him again, wrestle or otherwise, to be honest. I have no ill will, really, when I say this, to be honest, against him. I don't wish him, like, I wish someone would beat him up or anything like that. Of course not. But I like wrestling. He's done with wrestling. I don't need to see him ever again. Done.
Yeah, I liked that first return, and I thought that first run before Brawl Out was good.
What, the AEW return? So when he came back,
the first one,
I knew that there was something not right. Like, I just knew. Like, I thought I'd be like, oh, amazing. I knew that something was really not going to go well with this. I didn't know it was going to be to the extent it was going to be, but I was never on the CM Punk train when he came back. A lot of that's to do with what happened with the fact that he always said he hated going to Europe. Ironically, his last matches in England. Ironically. The Marvel stuff, whatever. But I think he lost all kind of legitimacy when he fought in the UFC and got his ass handed to him twice.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, that was a real, moment. That's when the legacy for me was like, I just wish he'd stopped after he left WWE. I wish he hadn't done that. But and it's just gone downhill since, hasn't it? Had peaks.
Well, the whole thing with the court case, him crying in court, and then going to AEW as like, I'm here to be everybody's friend and help this and that and everything like that. Help the young guys and stuff like that. And it was all bullshit. And at the end, what is his legacy? Bullshit. So, whatever. But happy retirement.
I did watch his.
No.
I did watch his Cauliflower Alley speech that he did a couple of weeks ago, not the week after, and he kept saying in that, "This isn't about me. This isn't about me." And you think, mate, this is now all becoming all about you.
Shame, innit, really? Because I think, I personally, I can say this, that back in 2011 and before that in Ring of Honor, I even remember him wrestling in TNA back in the day and stuff like that. He meant a lot because he was the champion that nobody kind of envisioned, and if you got behind him early enough, he was like your guy. And that's only happened a couple of times in my wrestling life cycle of watching it and stuff like that, where I've really kind of invested before they'd got big. And when they have got big, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, not told you so, but like, I'm so glad that I put the money on that horse kind of thing. Ultimately, the Marty Scurll was a very bad investment. And CM Punk, I think, equally, looking back now, just I don't feel ashamed or anything like that for being a supporter of his, but I just feel a bit deflated at the end of it, just like, what the fuck was all that about for the last 12 years? Jamie, you have more fonder memories, I think, but
like I said before, I've always really enjoyed Punk, and I was massively like when he came back in that first run before there was any shit kicking off. I thought that was one of the best runs of his career. Like I really enjoyed that first year. But yeah, since all this drama's been going on and like this back and forth, and I kind of hope that maybe he had turned a page when he come back this second time round. And I thought, oh, this might be quite good. But what was that, 6 weeks? And then we're at this point when he's like, he's done, isn't he? He's like, bridges are burnt. So, I'm going to write off this last chapter. I'm going to imagine it never happened. And that was it. He went up all out and that was it.
Maybe you would do like a Ric Flair and come back in about 30 years' time and do a last match. I'll be all up for that. You know, it'd be great.
I do find it kind of fitting though that he finished up with a match against Samoa Joe. That kind of
fitting and
nice.
Ironic. You know, arguably his biggest foe. You know, he was like their matches, their original matches in Ring of Honor were fantastic. But just ironic, it's in the UK. I don't think he ever thought about that, did he? He never thought, "Oh, my last match is going to be in England."
Well, I hate the European
But ultimately, his last match was in front of 80,000 people. Like, if you're going to go out, is there a better way to go out?
Yeah.
In a pretty decent match as well, all things considered.
I enjoyed the match.
And
not necessarily because of CM Punk, but still.
And I'm sure he made quite a lot of money over the last 2 years he's been with them as well. You know, enough money, unless any more people take him to court, enough money probably to live on for the rest of his life. So
100%. Yeah, 100% for that.
Au revoir, CM Punk.
So, nice. Well, happy retirement, CM Punk. Yeah, exactly.
Celebration. Bye-bye.
Retirement gifts. What retirement gift are you giving Phil on his way out? What have you given him?
Shit on his desk.
Chris, what are you giving him?
Coca-Cola.
Not Pepsi, Coke.
I'm gonna
just
Coke.
Coca-Cola.
No,
I'm gonna give him a book of handling difficult situations, and he can read that on his way home.
Stop thinking with the monkey part.
I would give him his flowers. I would give him a bouquet of flowers and a nice card that said "Thank you for the memories 12 years ago." Yeah,
you right, pansy,
and then shit on those of them. But no. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Enough of CM Punk. He's
moving
done.
on. Let's move on.
Yep.
He's cooked. No one wants him. He's done. Right, big topic then. So I think we can probably chat about this for some time, I think, this week. Big topic set by you, Lloydy, last week. Quite an open topic, but one we can definitely get involved with. So we're looking this week in the big topic of people who hoard certain cards within their PC, why people like to collect in that way, and also upgrading cards as well. So, Lloydy, since this is your topic, get the ground running with this.
So it's a weird one, to be honest, because I don't really see a lot of people within the hobby, the collecting physical cards, what I would class as hoarding. So hoarding, for me, for what hoarding is getting one or more than one person and collecting all of their cards, but in volume. Like, they don't care if it's the same card or it's a parallel, like anything of that person, and they would get as much of that mat into their PC, and they will hoard it until probably they have got no room left in their house, and that's what they would love. So I don't know many people like this. I'm sure they exist. I don't know if you guys, but the one thing I did see this more often than anything is on Topps Slam, that people would, and this was my first recognition of hoarding within hobby, basically, is that people would try to collect as much as they can of that one person basically, and they didn't care because there were different tiers, right, within Top Slam. There was Legend was the top, and then it was like iconic and rare, super rare, and there were certain people, mostly, I would mostly say Alexa Bliss, to be honest, that people would go after. Becky was another one as well, and Charlotte, I'd say. There's a reason here, but a lot of people would go out and collect as much as they can in volume, and if you go and look what they had, you'd be really surprised. Like, oh my god, there's like only 20 of those that exist, and you've got 19 of them. So I never understood why people would do it, because it's never been my kind of way of PCing anything. In my PC collection, I think I've probably hoarded one thing, and that's like trying to collect the same card, but the rest of the prints of it. And that was the, do you remember the AJ Styles card from Best of British?
Yeah.
What, the Shinsuke one?
Yes.
The title change?
Yes.
The
Jinder.
Jinder, sorry.
And he's jumping off, giving his lovely forearm. So I was trying to collect all of the 5s of that. I managed to get 2 of them. And I found another person who owned 2 of them, and they weren't letting them go, basically. So a bit of a stalemate on that one. But it's never really resonated with me. But I just thought I'd ask you guys, like, do you know many people within the hobby that do hoard, and why would they do it?
So for me...
Oh, no, go on. You go.
No, go, Chris. You go, mate.
No, you go.
Okay, so for me, I can see why people may hoard a certain card. So a base card of someone's first card as a prospecting thing. I get that.
Yeah.
And there's obviously that investment thing there for it. In regards to what you were saying, Lloyd, about trying to get one of a certain card, I do try and do that. There is a card I try and... So there's a Undertaker and Jeff Hardy relic from the Royal Rumble Flair set, and it was out of 25. I'm trying to get as many of them as possible, and I've got 3 of the 25 at the moment, and I will continue trying to do that, purely because that was my favourite match growing up as a kid, that ladder match on Raw. And the relic is just obviously glow in the dark, and it's just a nice card that I've always gone to, and I've obviously just tried to always get that. And the same with the Shane McMahon trash can card. Like, it's a rarer card, and if I see it, there's no hesitation. Like, I always buy one that always comes up, priced within reason, obviously. But yeah, for that same kind of reason, it's one of these matches that I've always loved, and that's kind of like that nostalgia aspect there for me on that. But day-to-day kind of like hoarding cards, I don't really tend to get down to that rabbit hole too much, really. It's sort of... I kind of like the base set collecting side thing kind of is maybe hoarded in some ways. But yeah, that's just the type of...
He says with about... I can see about 9 boxes behind it.
Yeah. You can see the other side. But again, does that count?
No, I
does
wouldn't
base
class
set
it
count
as
as hoarding. I guess technically
No,
it does.
I don't think so, mate.
Yeah, that's collecting. I'd see hoarding...
Collecting.
Hoarding more so within RPC, within the hobby, is really, for me, is getting one or more people and collecting as much as you can of that person.
I think Mrs. S would probably say I was hoarding.
Yeah. Hoarding your whole PC may be a hoard in the fact that you've got so much of it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, Chris, what are your thoughts?
So, I am a hoarder of everything. Okay. So I've got a loft full. I've got someone else's loft full. I've had a storage unit. Yeah, it's not great. So it's just something like it's all like psychological and it's all whatever. But I'm very aware of it. And you know, if someone tells me to throw something away and I'm not ready to throw that away, then I'll be honest with you, I get upset. So not like start crying or anything, but it gets to me. I need to be ready to let something go. Now, when you put that into cards and like collecting and stuff, when you say about buying the same exact card. I don't do that. Other than there's one exception that you guys know about, and that's the gold shimmer to 5, and that wasn't something that was intentional. And Dave, if you remember, I got 2 of them in one break, in one like break,
in one hit, wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah, and then I got the third in another break. No, I bought it as a single from Breaker Mayfield. And then the other one I've picked up solely because I want to now get the full 5. It's not something that I intended or went out of my way to do.
It's an accidental PC, right?
It's an accidental one.
Mine is too, right? You know what I mean? Like that AJ Styles one was like, kind of like an accidental one of, I bought one. Oh, can I buy the other 4? You know?
Yeah, that's it. And not easy to do either. As Dave said, he's only got the 2. And, you know, it's one of them things where I'm not massively bothered about it. If the 5th one never comes up, it never comes up. One thing I did kind of want to touch on, though, is there is a couple of cards that I have done that to, like I have hoarded or gone out of my way specifically to buy more of, but it's solely an investment thing, and it's Kurt Angle rookies and Stephanie McMahon rookies. But the more I thought about this, since we obviously mentioned on the last show that we were going to speak about it, I have actually decided to sell one of each and then wait for them to sell, and then I might well sell more and more, sort of thing. So, and that I was going to sub them all, and then I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't think it's I think it's kind of pointless. So I might just sub like 1 or 2 of them, like the 2 best ones, and then I'll just move everything else on. And they're already on eBay, like 1 of each of those, and I'll just kind of see how it goes. But just the fact that we were going to be talking about it brought it into my mind, and then I did kind of have why do I have 8 Kurt Angle rookies just sat there doing nothing? I might as well move a few of them off.
But the thing is, there's nothing.
I've got to be ready to do it.
But there's nothing wrong with you having those 8 if that's what you want. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, really. But
yeah, but at the same point, if someone else would value that, or would whatever, like that in their PC, and I'm sat there with 8 of them, I'm just like, well, why? If you're not actually gonna sub them all, move a few of them on, move half of them on.
You've actually triggered me with what you've just said, because
you want to buy
I do have a Kurt Angle rookie. I don't have a Stephanie McMahon rookie, so I might have one of those off here. But I do actually hoard, and have hoarded, but not from wrestling, because obviously I've picked up a few more football, soccer cards last season / coming into this season, and I've hoarded all of the Garnachos and all of the Alvarez's.
Yeah,
and even though that, like, their score, their score rookies, they're not numbered or anything like that. But there's something like, I can't just not have them in the PC. You know what I mean? Because
and it's prospecting, in my opinion. It's slightly different.
But I have hoarded them.
If you just buy, and I've done the same with those guys. So
I think they're a different line, though, aren't they? Like you said, like trying to get all the ones with a number. I think that is just collecting. Like you are purely collecting. Chris maybe having lots of Kurt Angle rookies. That's really prospecting, and same with you with the Alvarez and stuff, Lloydy. I think hoarding maybe comes into it more like if you're breaking Bron Breaker, for example. If you just had Bron Breaker and you would keep all the base cards of every one of his select, every Revolutions, because you PC Bron, and okay, there's maybe a bit of prospecting there as well, but there must be people who will just get all of one wrestler just to have the record number of Bron Breakers or the record number 100%. Of Undertaker cards.
And I mean,
it must be.
The only thing is, I know that they exist, but people, like, they don't talk about it much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they keep quiet about that.
No,
it's a very hush thing.
And I think there might be a thing. I think maybe with older cards as well, that people are trying to get the best of an older card and like trying to get, I need to buy as many of these up and not knowing how they're going to look in hand.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it a bit more in my purchases in some ways, but going back to Jade Cargill again, it's sort of, I've always been quite keen on trying to pick up the Jade Cargill cards, obviously those base early ones and stuff like that. Now with Upper Deck and Comedy, you have no idea what condition they're going to be like when they actually get to you. So you kind of have to hoard in some ways to hope that you get one that hasn't got a white edge or a dodgy corner, or because you don't see the real images on there. So I've had to hoard in some ways with hope that if I did decide to sub one, I would get a 9 or a 10 out of a J Cargill.
I do actually own,
and I think that's probably where I do a lot of hoarding.
7 of a rookie card, the MDM.
Yeah, I own a few as well.
Well, I might be in double figures at my end of the side of
I think I got 5 hook rookies as well, the silvers.
Yeah.
Just because I think they're underrated. But ultimately, very rarely. Like, I think a lot with the MDM stuff, and we're talking about Epack on our top 5, right? But a lot of the match dated moment stuff, the reason we have volume is because it's the chase. It's not because we're collecting stuff.
So Jamie's is a little bit different there because he's gone on to ComC and done it. But yeah, my one with Jade was all just because I was trying to get silvers and golds.
Yeah. But again, though, are you going to hold on to them, or will you keep them in your Epack, or you would just keep that big stash of what you've got?
I've been looking. I mean, I don't want to talk about this one too much because of what we're talking about later. But I've been looking recently, and if there's a time to buy, it's now. Because
I keep so much on my Epack though, like with the view of I am going to get it via ComC at some point. But there's so much on my Epack that it's just like I don't even know when it would come to me. So I've probably got about 3, maybe 4 waves of stuff I need to do, and it's just being the arse factor. I've got a lot of Bron at ComC which I need to get across, but it's having the arse factor of getting it sorted out and the long wait for it to come. So there's definitely I need to do it, but the thing is that there is, if you were to look on ComC, you'd be like, oh, is Dave hoarding this person and that person? And it's not. It's just because of the amount of packs and stuff like that you open and stuff on there. Yeah. It's very visible, isn't it? Maybe that's the same from Top Slams. The amount of stuff that people are opening, you actually see it. But when it came to the higher cards, it was very obvious that who the hoarding people were, to be honest. But
I guess with that though, because you're ripping so many packs on Top Slam, you're probably easier to get a trade for what you actually want.
I don't know.
People were just.
It was tough to get those legendaries. They were called. It was very hard to get those legendaries. I'm still one of the only person that owns all of the. I think there was 2 people that owned all of the Dolph legendaries, and I was one of them. I actually owned the only Cora J's legendary as well. So out of 19, I think that was. Wow. So I've got the only Tony D'Angelo as well, legendary. I think out of 5. So come on, baby, come back, Top Slam.
I need to. This is off topic a little bit. I've never looked at my Top Slam archive to see how that looked on day closing. I need to have a look at that and see what actually. Do you want me to send you
a picture of my legendaries? It's pretty impressive. I've got quite a few to be honest. My iconics are pretty cool as well. But I'll show you some few bits. I'll put them on ATP chat. I'm sure the boys will like to see it as well. ATP. Yeah. But I don't know, like I would expect if they bring back Top Slam, we could probably have a deeper conversation about what we see on there when it comes back, to be honest, because it's the only place I've seen obvious hoarding. In my mind, to the extent of PCing somebody, but like having all of their cards. So, yeah.
We've done a little bit of confessional here. We've all confessed to hoarding a little bit, just not to massive amounts. So,
what about
well done,
the? So, do you? The other part of this is there was a secondary part, and do you think people upgrade a lot as well? So, for example, and this is, I wouldn't say this is potentially hoarding, but it definitely is a different aspect on it. So, for example, if I was to have a card and I had it as a PSA 7, would I then look to keep that or potentially sell it and then go for the PSA 8 or the PSA 9 or, heavens above, the PSA 10 if it existed? Would you? Yeah.
Placeholder.
Do you guys see? I don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I do.
See, like, can you?
And I have recently started getting into doing that as well.
Do you want to walk us through like what your thoughts? Like, because I know Trav does that as well, potentially.
Well, it can depend on if something isn't available. If I don't have the money to justify a PSA 10. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I do have a few things where I'm like, and the Stephanie McMahon rookies are an example of that. I had some kind of beaten up quality ones just as a placeholder until I upgraded them, so to speak. So I am a big believer in that.
That's cool.
And I'm kind of the same as you, Chris. So I've got cards that I just have in my collection that I think have been relatively good condition, and if I pulled the trigger, I would put them through for grading. But I have also like bought cards on eBay that have already got a PSA 9 grading, or even like a Beckett grade or something that has been slabbed.
Yeah, and
maybe I'll keep it as an interim, or I may actually make that my PC one. But I will still keep a couple of cards that I particularly like, in the meantime.
Yeah. I've got an example of this as well. So, I mean, I've still got it because it hasn't sold, but I've got my favourite card, the Hogan Yellow Slamtax Chrome. I had in a 9, and then I got it in a 10 through grading it myself. And so I am trying to get rid of the 9. So it's, just one of them things where sometimes if you're not quite able to get the 10 or get the better condition one, then it's, just like a placeholder. So you've still got it.
Yeah. I just think I'm lazy.
Room for
improvement. Placeholder's a good phrase.
I just think I'm lazy.
Or a perfectionist. You don't want the shit version of it. You would rather wait and, get the best version.
I agree. I can see where you're coming from. It's just, for me, it just doesn't matter. Like, if I, for example, I have the Bron Breaker Premier tie-dye select from last year as a PSA 9. I don't give a shit if it's a PSA 9 or a PSA 10. Like, I wouldn't go, right, I'm on the hunt for a PSA 10 of it. It just doesn't matter to me, because ultimately,
do you think that's I was gonna say, do you think that's because like Bron Breaker, for example, most of his cards are pretty pristine when you're getting them, and you've got a good condition card, so necessarily you don't need to upgrade because you've got pretty good.
I just don't want to go through the hassle of trying to find one, buy it, sell the one I've got, because it wouldn't mean
it can be a hassle.
It wouldn't mean much more to me than getting the 10 to the 9 on that card specifically. It may differ. Yeah. Like, if I had a PSA 8 or something, I'm like, I'd love that in a PSA 10. Yeah. But I haven't really had that itch to scratch. And I think a lot of that is what it is that as a collector, you get a bit itchy about, I want to do this. And it leads on to that way. But it's not something I've... I think
there are... No, so there are definitely parts of the hobby there where people are also just submitting cards for grading just to hope to try and get a PSA 10. And going back to the Hoarding, they'll get as many of those cards as possible, then just submit them for grading regardless. And again, that then is like, what are they then doing? Are they then holding on to those low grades, or are they moving them on once they've got the higher grade, I think there's probably a mix of people doing both of them.
I think is maybe my vision. I think you put me down an alleyway of my thinking here, Jamie, in the sense of I don't really see grading for the purpose of grading, i.e. it's a 9, it's a 10, it's an 8. Personally, more so, I think of I'm protecting the card. And in what because we know that grading is so subjective. Like one man's like you could get any card, crack it, and it may come back a different grade. It could be lower, it could be higher. You just don't know. Like, well, you can't get higher than a 10. But ultimately, you could crack a 9 and it could come back an 8 or a 10, and it all depends on that person on that day.
And that's the risk.
Subjective.
But why? If it's for protection though, and this is when people say this is what kind of makes me think is, why not just put it in a mag? Is it just that you prefer the look of a graded slab as opposed to just a mag?
Mags are that protective, to be honest.
I think it's just because they're airtight, aren't they? As an actual slab. Compared to a mag.
I like as well as like with mags, you can't. A lot of them you can't put a penny sleeve and then put the card in the mag because there's not enough room.
No, I put the card in and then put a penny sleeve.
I've tried to do that and I don't love it. You know what I mean? Like it's not for me. But yeah, I've never really enjoyed like some stuff has to be magged because unless you get it graded, like I got that Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens patch auto from Tommy, and it had to be magged, and it's in a lovely mag. Tommy got a lovely mag for it, so thank you, Tommy. But it had to be like it's either graded or in a mag. It wouldn't go well in a top loader, I don't think. I think a lot of it as well. A lot of my PC is raw. You know, it's in top loaders, and I like that. I like looking through my collection by just like skimming through. You know what I mean? I know where everything is, and I basically skim through my collection really quickly and find spaces for everything. I wouldn't do that if everything was slabbed.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of it, and some of it is like with you there, Chris, as well. I can see from your background. I have a white wall behind me. You have lots of stuff behind you. I don't show anything. Everything's locked away in my cupboard. Yeah. I wouldn't present anything. I don't feel the need to present anything. It's just a personal choice. I wouldn't have a shelf with stuff on. And I'm not saying that that's wrong.
But the thing is my stuff, as you've just said, is all displayed and on acrylic stands and everything. But no one sees it except me. No one's allowed in this room. So I just do it because I like kind of being creative.
That's cool.
Do you know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
I would hate for like, you know, my mates to all come in and like, you know what I mean? You got 3 or 4 mates around. I would be petrified that they're going to fucking knock something over or pick something up with their dirty.
A lot of people like if you know a lot like from the major figure podcast and people like that, and you see these elaborate things that they've got, these showcases that they've got.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Cardona's.
But the fact of the matter is, who are they for? Yeah. Other than like
for me,
yeah, exactly. They're for the person who owns it. You know what I mean? Like, which I get, but I'm not wasting my time and effort and money potentially with those kind of displays. Because I just don't feel the need. And there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with what you do. But ultimately, it's different.
Yeah,
with
it's just different ways of thinking, and you know.
I think all of this big topic of all it is different ways of thinking of PCing stuff within hobby.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it?
But I have always been I always wonder about both of your collections. Obviously, you can kind of see mine to a degree, and I do always wonder where does Dave keep his cards? I mean, I can kind
in
of
a hole. I keep it in a cupboard in a hole. But I wouldn't want it out in front of anyone. Like I have if I look around me now, I've got obviously Jamie's card for the Nook. I have Sarah Michelle Gellar's Milky Mustache.
Milky.
I've got an oversized Dolph Ziggler. 8x10, which I need to get a top loader for. I've got a load of stuff that I've bought recently, some top loaders, some Prism 2023 base set, because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. And I've got a load of stuff that I need to sell at some point, and it's just stacking up on the right-hand side. But other than that, everything's stored away. I've got some mostly in boxes, but I've got some next to my bedside cabinet as well. But there's like the base are in folders, like base sets are in folders. But the majority of it's all top loaded or graded basically. But I look at I very rarely do I look at to be honest, I very rarely look at the AEW stuff. But it's very rarely. And that's why I'm a bit hesitant on buying more of it, to be honest, because most of my money goes on WWE and the investment into Braun and Dolph, whatnot. So, on whatnot, obviously. On whatnot.
On whatnot, not via Klarna. I do find that I do tinker quite a bit with my collection, although it is in boxes and I don't really do much with it. I will pull a box out and then just tinker through and sort of see, do I need to do anything? Have I fucked anything up here? And sort of do it that way. And I've got, obviously it's never going to for audio, but I've got like a load of stuff there. I'm just like sorting through just for the sake of sorting through it and just seeing, do I need to pick anything else up? Has it been damaged or anything like that? So, that takes up most of the time. And I imagine being a hoarder, that's always the same type of thing. You're constantly tinkering to see if you want any more.
Definitely. Or if you want to sell. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll look at something and go, I'm just not feeling that anymore and I'm going to sell it. Do you know what I mean? I've had some Pokemon stuff recently.
Oh,
hello. Kind of gone off. I've sold it now. So. I might have some more. If you're into Pikachus, aren't you? I might have some.
I need
cool
some
Pikachu cards.
Yes.
There you go. But it's just that, different points in your life, you might just feel like, actually, I don't need this stuff anymore and I'm going to move it on. So, and I almost have that same kind of thing where some of it's in boxes, some of it's in folders and some of it's in top loaders. And I kind of flip flop in between the 3-4 ways of kind of collecting and storing and stuff. So I go through all different stages. That's what I would say.
It's tough, isn't it? Because collecting can be quite collecting, like just buying cards can be a complex thing, let alone how you store it and what you do with it. It's a weird one. We don't often speak about it, really. We spoke about it on the earlier shows, didn't we, really? But we haven't really dived into it much since. But
No, it's good to have a sort of a conversation like this as well, just to sort of get into our mindsets where we are at this time of year and things like that,
I mean, my obvious thing about all of it, and I've always said it, it's just space. And this is why I'm getting to a point where I need to sell a load of shit, because I want to collect more, but not with the space that I've got. And I can't justify, I just don't have I don't have the room. So,
no.
You should take a loft.
Wouldn't mind, actually, to be honest. But yeah,
I've got the our loft is filled up with my brother's stuff. He hasn't got a loft when he left uni, and it all went up in our loft, and I've got no rooms up there, so I have to turf his stuff out.
I don't actually own anything in my parents' house. I know I'm like 40, but like literally, there's not one thing of mine that's in my parents' house. Mad, isn't it? Space for cards,
There's no better place to start,
I'll find a couple of wardrobes and just keep sticking stuff in it, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Cool.
But no, it's interesting. I think I might be interested to stick it on our group as well, actually, get other people's thoughts, because I know very little about, other people's collecting habits or how they do things. So it might be your
deepest, darkest secrets.
I do know a little bit about Tommy's Tommy's always got some good little solutions. He's always got like boxes and, do you know what I mean? You guys see that? Like proper cases.
I'm pretty sure he's got a shrine to muscle women somewhere and a sex dungeon. Sorry, Tommy.
No, too far, Dave. He has not got a sex dungeon.
I love you, Tommy. My drinking partner. Yeah, no, I'm sure he doesn't. But he does like his muscle women. Anyway, so we move on to purchases.
Yeah, let's do this because we've done this in totally the wrong order.
I noticed like halfway through, but I didn't say anything.
So my notes were all wrong. I was freaking out.
I can go for purchases.
Oh, not to worry. Let's do it.
Honest, I haven't.
So can
AEW,
so can I. Mostly
breaks. I've done breaks, but I've hit fuck all breaks. Nothing big at all. Fuck all. Done WWE ones as well. Nothing. It's been terrible. But I've done some quite good business of late for singles for AEW off the whatnots, mostly Breaker Mayfield, really, I'd say. So I think like I have to talk about my Cash Wheeler collection. Na. Wheeler's got a gun. Yeah. So I got an auto of his, just like the base version. I got his Metal X, which is the case hit. $16, man. Fucking.
That's a really good.
It went really like what I saw one go for like 70 when it first came out on Yankee Bay.
Yeah,
and it went for so cheap I couldn't say no to it. I think I got his purple retro as well. I've got from doing breaks. I've got all of his other base cards known to man, I think. And I also picked up my one and only. I don't think I'm going to get any more, but I picked up his base PMG out of 100, the red one. It's a lovely card. I love that image of him as well with the top on and stuff like that. So really cool. Other of note, I picked up a Serena Deeb Turn Up the Heat out of 25. Turn Up the Heat.
Deeb.
Any reason?
No, I picked up Serena Deeb in one of the breaks and picked up a few bits and pieces from her, and then her out of 25. Like the Turn Up the Heat out numbered cards don't often come up that often for sale, so the gold version of it anyway. So I thought, right, why not? What else did I get? I also got I like the hardware cards. So yeah, the one with actually some color on it, not just clay. The Palladium's the other one, aren't they? So I got the Miro Gold out of 25 as well. I hadn't seen it up to that point of buying it, and past then, I hadn't seen anyone selling one of those or it come up on a break either. So that's a Miro out of 25. I picked up quite a few of the hardwares. I picked up really nicely the retros, the purple, Sting and Darby out of 199.
Nice.
And as the tag team, I thought that was really cool, to be honest. So yeah, I've picked up quite a few singles. You've got a lot, Jamie. You've got a lot of AEW coming your way as well. From
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
From the set, and Chris, you've got some as well. When I next send you some stuff, so yeah, all good. I think more so the retros. That's the alley I'm going to be going down. Jamie,
sweet,
nice. Yeah, I'll whiz through mine quite quick as well. So, mentioned doing some tinkering. So I actually went through my AEW box this weekend. Done a finally tally up, and I only needed 11 more pyros to complete the pyro set.
Nice.
So I went on Commodore and grabbed all of them for less than $11. That included like the MJFs and Britt Bakers. So pretty happy with that. Most of them are only like 25 cents. So I thought I might as well just close this one out. So I've done that. So they're waiting to be shipped. And I also picked up a handful of J Cargills as well. There was a couple that had popped up on there. I thought I'll just add them to the collection. So yeah, I'm hoarding a bit of J Cargills there. So yeah, I'm going to probably try and grab some more as well. I think there's going to be this mad dash, maybe trying to get that match tape moment card of hers. But yeah, so I picked up some ComC stuff. Picked up a bit of a curio card. So I don't know if you guys know, there's a guy called David Lopez who normally sells quite a lot of cards on Facebook groups and stuff. I picked up a Bret Hart jewel relic of his.
I saw you comment on this.
So I'll pick this up. He only wanted eight for it, so I grabbed it. As soon as I got it, though, it's a bit of a strange card. So it's from a card company called In The Game, who I've never heard of before. I thought it was a Leaf card originally.
I thought it was Leaf.
It's a company called In The Game.
Okay.
There's nothing on there that says it's Leaf.
What are the relics?
Well, this is other part of it. So the top relic, it says here, a Bret Hart worn T-shirt, which is fine. And then the bottom relic says, Trunks personally worn by Bret Hart, but it's clearly a pair of jeans.
That's what I thought, yeah. I thought it looked like denim.
And Bret Hart's...
Is it?
It is denim,
denim,
It's a pair of shorts or jeans or something, yeah. And also Bret Hart spelt wrong. It's Bret with 2 T's, and that's all over the card.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's a bit of a grim piece, but I thought it was quite cool anyway. So yeah, a bit of a curio card. I've never seen that anywhere before. I don't know if it was part of one of these like President's Choice or whatever, you know. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. A card company I've never seen before, and I've never seen this appear before either. So yeah, a curio. Have you ever heard of this set at all? No. So it's a bit of a weird one. And then just a bit of a backtrack from last time. I mentioned I bought a load of empty slabs, and this maybe goes into your magloader thing, Chris. So I haven't sent anything off for grading, and I thought I'm just going to put a load of cards in slabs, and I'm going to try and create some labels for them. But I'll put the Nick Jackson in there, and it actually shuts quite well. I'm quite chuffed with it. Quality-wise, it's not too bad. Another way of just protecting the cards, and I've got 10 for £6 on eBay. I was like, you know what? It's cheaper than magloaders, and it's obviously sealed then, isn't it? So I don't know how it's going to be when I want to crack it open, but nonetheless. But yeah, that's all I've done this time around. I've not bought anything really. I've just been
I've got some bits. Not
around really.
Too
what
much
you,
AEW. Obviously, Dave's was predominantly AEW. Mine's mainly just the normal stuff. But something a little bit different to start with: a 1-of-1 printing plate. Yeah, not the best. Let's say I saw this and it was so cheap that I was like, I have to buy it. I'll show you guys here. Kofi Kingston Topps flagship 2021, £15. Yeah. And I was just like, I can't not bid on it. So yeah, Kofi gets no love in the hobby. So, and I've always liked Kofi in the New Day. So yeah, I'll pick that one up. No. No.
Are you going to go for the rainbow though? Now you've got the printing plate. You're going to try and work up.
Dave said it the other day. I've got too much going on already in like collecting different sets, and I can't start another thing like that. Speaking of which, Luke Gallows Prism update. So obviously I'm trying to do the rainbow of both Gallows and Anderson. Anderson I'm struggling on. Nothing's really coming up, but Gallows, some bits came up this week, so I'm getting down to like the nitty gritty on these guys. So I picked up the White Sparkle, Gold Shimmer to 5, I think it's a Teal to 49, and then 3 or 4 of the higher parallels I already had. But yeah, I'm getting down to not needing much. Yeah, 1-of-1s and to 25s and bits.
Nitty gritty.
Yeah, getting there. Thank you. And now Slammertex Chrome. We haven't mentioned Undertaker Orange to 25. I paid a decent amount for this, and I was in a bidding war with someone. But I won in the end, and so I think I only need 2 oranges. I've done the yellows, done the greens, so yeah, not too bad. And then also picked up a Swerve.
Well done.
Been kind of started a little Swerve PC. One of my favourite wrestlers to watch at the moment. I think he's a great heel.
That's a good shout.
By the way,
Swerve is going to be
I also
big
have
name.
the 2 Swerve
Yeah.
legendary cards on Top Slam as well. The only legendary cards of Swerve. There you go.
How
about that?
So yes, Swerve yellow, and then a couple of others. Pay-per-view inserts. Randy Orton's 25, so the orange, and Kevin Owens to 50. So that's green. I just want to give a shout out to SC Cards on eBay, which is Scott Crouch. He's one of the nicest guys I've spoken to within the hobby, other than you guys, of course. So yeah, just a great seller. If you check out his eBay store, really good.
From Birmingham, isn't he?
Is he?
SC Cards. Yeah. They're on Whatnot. They sell a lot of football stuff, don't they?
I think it might be a different guy. But I think this guy's
are we talking
from,
about the American guy?
Might be a different guy, dude.
No. I think he's in Kent somewhere. Yeah, Scott.
Oh, no, our Scott Crouch. Oh, sorry.
Our Scott Crouch.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, who am I thinking
really,
about?
Our Scott Crouch. Yeah.
Oh, is he?
There you go.
Your Nook card is coming from Scotch Crouch.
Sorry,
yeah.
Digress.
I was like, didn't realise until I bought it.
And the last thing, thanks to Dave,
anyway.
You posted the Stokely Hathaway, long Stokely Hathaway earlier on our group. So I checked out that guy as what he was selling. And managed to get, I think it's called Blue Spectrum. Is that one of them? Blue Spectrum, the dark kind of blue cards.
Yeah.
Picked up Hook in that for £3.50. I thought
You've
it was
got
really good.
4 of them in your... not Hook. You have got Serena Deep, Cash Wheeler, Lance Archer, and Dax Harwood. So don't buy them. And,
don't buy
JB, you have the
FTR
same
one.
as well.
Excellent.
There you go.
Awesome. They look really good, I think. I quite like that one.
Nice. Thank you, Raj.
So yeah, thanks, Dave, for that.
There you go. You've got 5.
They did look good.
Unwillingly known. There you go. And then last thing for me was some breaks. I'm waiting on a Topps Chrome Samattax case break that Wes from the ATP told me about. It's kind of getting to me a little bit. So Wes told me, I want to say like last Wednesday, sometime like that. And the guy's trying to pre-fill and waiting for it, but it's I paid money a week ago, and a decent amount of money. Like it's not like it's a quid or a couple of quid. And yeah, it's still, I get it, like that he wants to pre-fill sort of half the spots, but at what point do you go, dude, you've had my money now for like 4 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. Where's the line? Do you know what I mean?
Breaking Mayfield's gone through the same with the metal.
When you're doing this,
ironically, a lot of the singles are going for quite big money, and there's quite a high hit rate on getting quite good cards. I've seen boxes where you're getting 2 PMGs out of them. You know what I mean? Like it's high hit rates. You're making money. But the fill in the breaks has been absolutely terrible, and I don't get it. The best one I saw for the AEW side was P-Bear. P-Bear just got started it, hardly had sold that much, and just went, right, yep, it's this price, make offers, what do you want me to do? Tell me, let's work a deals, let's get it done, let's do it quickly. And he got it done in a couple of hours. I've never fucking seen, the guy's a machine. Like, literally, when it comes to breaking. I've always said that P-Bear is one of the best breakers I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think he is my favourite.
He's just so good, but it's not this. I totally. It is getting that speed, but it's getting the right deals through. But you ain't going to be making any deals if you just sit on it for 4 weeks. Like literally,
that's it, and it's pissing me off.
You can
do you know
ask
what I mean?
Cancel. You can ask for a cancel.
No, I'm not going to do that because then if a card comes out where I bought the spot, I'd be devastated. No. But it's putting me off. If,
you never live for yourself.
I don't know, at the weekend, like last weekend, if he'd have put it up, I probably would have taken a lot of spots. But now, the longer it goes on, the less likely I am to fuck with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, where's the line? Like, how long till he has to take the hit on it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not my fault that he's not got enough people interested in it.
The same thing.
It's the gamble.
But the same thing will happen with what happened to Mayfield on his breaks, that people just say, look, I want to cancel. I want the money to go somewhere else now. Like, it's a lot. Sometimes they think, and I'm not saying Mayfield did this, but like, if you hold it for so long, if it feels like you're keeping your money hostage a bit, kind of thing. And it's
that's how I feel at the moment. And it's not, I know that he's not, and I know that he's legit and everything, but that's just how it feels.
But you can't go 4 weeks. Like, I think the maximum.
No.
I think the maximum is 2 weeks and then break, or
you can't
cancel.
go 4 weeks and then not do the
you
break.
either do either one.
Or just refund everything and say, right, I'm not.
If you're not going to make your money out of doing it, there's no point. You know. So
no.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep you updated on that one next time, and hopefully, I've got Bret Hart, I've got Mankind, I've got Macho Man and stuff like that. So there are big guys that I do want the cards from. So
cool.
That is it from myself this week.
Yep.
Lots of misses that I haven't spoken about. Lots and lots of Skybox Metal misses.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
I think we're getting to the point where Skybox Metal is moving away. I think we will probably done with.
I'm looking at buying a hobby box.
I
haven't done.
I'm pretty relaxed
on breaks.
Now.
I mean,
I feel like I've done my business for what I wanted. So I'm nowhere near Spears cards. I haven't seen fucking any of them, like on breaks or anything like that. Nothing. And to be honest, I'm not a hoarder of Spears, so I'm very thankful for what I've got. But all right,
cool.
Boom. Let's move on to our top 5 and mega 5 then for this week, because we're running quite a long episode this week, which is always good. So. Top 5 this time round, we are going for Epack cards. So, topic set by me last time round, and we kind of wanted to have Epack cards, which were physical packs that you had to buy, and you could then have as actual cards. Now, I fucked up during the week, sent over a few things, and we actually had to have a bit of SCR. It's
always you, Jamie. You always push the boundaries, but not in a bad way. It gets our minds working, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, definitely.
As soon as you did it, though, I was like, I fucking knew he was going to do this.
It does.
I knew. And I knew, I was like, oh man, I knew you were going to, because,
fuck up his own
get
topic.
to it when we get to it. But,
yeah.
We'll get to it. So, so let's fire through these fairly quickly, because I think we're going to have a relatively straightforward Mega 5, I think. So, another good chance to talk
Keep
more
it going.
AEW. It's been a very AEW episode, this one.
Number 5, and I never thought
Lloydy,
I'd put this on here. But there is a reason. So, CM Punk preview card. And it's not necessarily because it's a CM Punk card. It's because it was an Epack, obviously exclusive, but when they got sent out, there was a possibility of getting the blank auto card from CM Punk. So we know people that got it, and it still goes for quite a pretty penny these days, to be honest. So I wouldn't personally, if I would have got the blank auto card, I would have not got him to sign it. That's just my.
I think that's rare. Yeah,
I think that's just to have that as an error.
No.
I think that's pretty cool.
It's big time.
Yeah. I just think it was. I
need that fucker in my PC for my AEW.
It's the oddest thing that's happened for their Epacks, and it was like an error chase. if such a thing exists. So that was pretty cool. Number 4, Take Shitter, silver. Takeshita, whatever. I can never say his fucking name. I do have this in my Epack currently, and I ironically, I had someone try to trade it this morning for like 4 other silvers, and I'm like, no, man, I've got it. They can't offer me anything that I haven't already got, to be honest,
really?
on that kind of thing. So I did laugh. I was like, nah, sorry, mate, I've got all those. But I think it's quite a sought after card. I think it's going to grow in stature over the next. I think he's doing some great work. I think they're trying to push him to the moon. I think he's a really good worker.
I thought he looked like a star at All In. I thought,
and All Out.
Yeah, he looks
All
incredible.
Out as well.
Yeah, really good.
I think obviously what he's doing with Kenny is just putting him over and over. It's how like bursting through that glass ceiling. You know what I mean? Like, but it'd be nice to have like a talent that grows in AEW to become the champion. I am a bit sick of them giving it to old WWE guys, to be honest. But you know that they're going to give it to Daniel Bryan probably next, right? He'll be the one, and it's just like, or Edge, someone. Yeah. Regal, the first ever gold card, wasn't it? The Regal card, I want to say.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the formation of the BCC. Now Regal has left, the BCC is left, and it's still a thing. Number 2, Chris's favourite card, MJF All In. Sorry, mate. I just love. Obviously, it's the one of the 2 seminal moments that we had for All In, and it's weird because it's like got confetti that's flowing down from the card. Don't often see that. It's the biggest moment. Yeah.
The modern age Benoit and Guerrero.
Obviously, it's the biggest thing that's happened in AEW's career up to now. And I like it in the card. I think it's my favourite MJF card. I'm not a massive fan of MJF, but ultimately, he's built himself up to that moment. Basically, that is his moment. And it's a great card. I think years from now, I think that will be one of the chases of all of the MDMs, to be honest. But my number 1 is the Acclaimed rookie card, gold, which was like the 2nd or 3rd rookie gold card. I think it was the 2nd gold card, to be honest.
Yeah, it was maybe the 3rd.
Could be the 3rd. But ultimately, it's their rookie card. I think it's definitively known as their rookie card, as they are on that card together. It's the Acclaimed rookie card. I wish I had more of them. I only have 1. I would like more. I want to hoard this card. Yeah. This is the card that, if I'm going to hoard, this is the one for me. Just potential value going forward. They're loved. I will scissor to my dying moments. I will scissor you all to death if I have to.
We've seen the proof.
And not get punched by people.
Yeah,
yes.
Fuck that guy.
I will. Yeah, I will defend myself if I have to, but I will scissor him equally.
Defend yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
go. Go on, Chris. Go on. Do your 5.
Cool. Right.
It's a bit awkward because mine was 5 up and yours is 5 down.
Yeah, it's confusing. I'm not looking at that. So. Number 5 for me is Hook Silver Match Day Moments. I will just say before I start this, all of mine are Match Day Moments. It sucks to a degree that his rookie card is not just him on his own and, whatever, but it's got Action Bronson in it.
And his hair.
but I like it.
You can see his hair, not his face, but his hair. Yeah,
his hair. Yeah, so I like it because it fits the character. It's that whole mysterious vibe to it. I just think probably couldn't get a better rookie card. I know that you can't see his face, but I just think it keeps that mystique, and I just really like it. Just for him only, it works. For anyone else, it doesn't work.
There is an also thing.
What are you going to say?
Is he even still there?
If Action Bronson becomes a megastar, it's also Action Bronson's rookie card as well. And he could become.
I don't know.
No, he's
just
a rapper, isn't he? I don't know if he's a.
He does sing.
Does one of the cons take him out back and shoot?
I think he sings Hook's theme. I think
with Wheeler's gun.
So
I don't know. The only thing about that card, I love that card, and I have many of them. I hoard that card.
Double rookie.
But ultimately, the rookie, because they obviously did the Epack card that you cannot. I'm sure people accustomed it that, you know what I mean? But ultimately that was such a good card for that to be a rookie. And what we got was a bit like, oh, okay. It's not even a proper picture of him.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that at the time I was like, for fuck's sake. But now that I've thought about it more, and I'm kind of trying to, ever the optimist, I'm trying to see the good side of that card, and I just love Hook, man. So yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Number 4, I've gone not salty at all. I've gone for the MJF gold when he reveals the devil sort of thing.
The Joker, isn't it?
The Joker. No, Joker. Sorry, yeah. The Joker. So, and it kills me inside that I have not got that other card. So that is the only reason I would have put the MJF Adam Cole one on here if not. So yeah. This one, I will just say, has dipped in price quite a bit, so you can pick that one up pretty cheap now. Number 3, I've gone for the one Dave went for, Acclaimed, the gold rookie matchday moments. It's the card we wanted. It's the card we needed. Do you know what I mean? Perfect. And that one, at a glance, I could only see 3 on eBay at the moment, and they were all over $100.
Says a lot.
As Dave said, if you can get hold of that card, I would suggest you do, Number 2, I've again gone for the William Regal formation of the Blackpool Combat Club. Really cool. It was a big chase for us guys, I think, because it had, Regal on it. And it's a cool image. If you look on the actual image, I think Regal's got like the blood on his face, and just again, similar to the MJF one though, it has dipped quite severely in price. So if you do want to pick that one up,
I am surprised about that because it was his. I'm surprised and not surprised. Obviously, he left. Took his ball and went back to. Has he actually gone back to WWE?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
He's not allowed on TV for a year.
The Khan family.
Tony Khan said or something.
The Khan clan.
But no, ultimately, this is the first gold card. So it should get more respect. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I was going to mention this because it's on my list as well. But I was going to say it was the first gold card, and I think that's why it had that initial massive premium.
Quite a lot, yeah.
And
but I think now
we've
had subsequent. I think that maybe why it's dropped. Yeah, it's a nice card.
Yeah, cool. So number 1, I have gone with Saraya, the silver from All In. As I said, I've got a few of these. I couldn't decide if I should pick this one or the new arrivals. But bigger moment, and and I think looking at that card today, I think we could be in that card somewhere, blurred out in the, because it looks like it's in the camera angle that would have looked at us
really?
guys, and I think Tommy was on the same side as us and Wes as well. So yeah, there could be quite a few of us in that card. Obviously, it's blurred out at the back and stuff, but you can't really see it.
I think. Well, Tommy did say that he was like the only one in a bright yellow T-shirt, and you could see him clearly in all the camera shots that way.
But yeah, I think this card could, especially for the UK market, I think it could be a big one in the future. People like looking for a memento from that day. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my number one. Jamie?
Nice. Okay, I'll whiz through mine. So mine's, again, back to front in the number list 3. But yeah, number 5... I've gone a little bit lower than you guys on this. I've gone for the Acclaimed at number 5, purely because of the order of what I had below. I would have had it higher, but yeah, I really do like this card, and it's not taking anything away from this. But yeah, I put it at number 5 because of the ones below it. Number 4, this was the controversial card. This was Danhausen. So I put on the list his first encounter, which we discussed. The reasons why. So the first encounter was the reward, wasn't it, for getting all the parallels
the achievement
of the achievement of the new arrivals, wasn't it?
Silvers.
Silver ones, yeah, not just the birds, was it?
So the image is really nice, and it's still kind of like that early Danhausen. I really like that. But after the conversation, I'm gonna take out and put in the match day moments Danhausen card.
We gave you the green light. We said okay. It's just
keep it in.
It's I don't mind the card either, to be honest. It's just different.
Nice, if it was a nice curse and all that.
If it was an achievement off the back of Series 1, then it would be a no. But because it was an achievement off the back of an actual Epack made for Epack thing, so why not?
Cool. Okay, we'll keep him in then. So Danhausen, early card for him.
Yeah.
Number 3, Regal's arrival. It's pretty much the same argument as you guys, really. It was such a big moment, and it was the first gold card that we had released from Epack, pretty much.
Yep.
It's a bit lower on my list because I paid nearly $100 for it compared to what it is now. Yeah. But it does show you that how... I don't think people were aware how many golds there were available at that point. I think everyone was still a bit new on how Epack was going to work. And I did wait for it to drop because it was higher than that. And I did wait for it to drop. But yeah, since then, the golds, when they've been appearing, other than like the Acclaimed, but most of them, like the Sting, the JAS, any of those are sort of, $20 to $10, like not expensive at all to pick up now on ComC. So I'm a bit salty about that price I paid for there, but that's the gamble. So that's why it's at number 3, but it's a cracking card. At number 2, I've also got this on my list, which is the MJF being revealed as the Joker. Another gold card. I think all these match day moments, I think on the whole, they knock these out of the park. I think the images are always pretty good on match day moments, and I like all the gold. There's not a gold I don't like, really. So MJF at number 2. And number 1, spoke about a lot on this, Jade Cargill, her rookie card, the match day moments. I think this is probably could be the biggest Epack card we have if her career skyrockets as it does. And again, anyone who wants them, if you haven't even got one, I would just pick one up, just have it in your PC.
They're quite cheap.
It's a good image. They are
very cheap.
So number 1, and that's where we're at. And I was quite interested that you guys didn't include her on your list anywhere else. So
for me, she's in my honorable mentions, but it is for again, it's the price. It's like, I don't know. I just like I've been trying to move one recently. I've been like thinking, I've taken pictures of it and stuff, and then I look at sort of comps on it, and I'm like, they're going for like £2 or £3, and I don't want to sell it for that. Do you know what I mean? No. I might as well keep it.
The problem is that it was one of the first MDM cards that they made, and there was like so base, many. It was base, and there were so many of them. Like I think if you look still unclaimed, there's still about 1,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That are still not made its way over to ComC. So I just think it's just because of the volume. That may peter out over time. However,
it's quality again, though, isn't it? What quality are they going to be when you redeem them? You know.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I just think if you are a fan of her, I think pick these cards up while they're cheap, and just hold them. It's a nice image to have anyway. But yeah, that's where I am with the.
We're certainly going to go up further when she goes to WWE anyway. So
yeah, wins a Rumble and then beats Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, Bianca, her doppelganger.
Bianca, yeah. One or t'other.
Okay.
So, right, shall we mega fire this, boys? Yeah. Let's round up this week's show. So let's get that countdown timer. Right, 30 seconds. Done. Right. Where are we sitting?
Go on, I'll let you two try to work this one out. I work it out all the time. Go on.
There's not many that come up twice, but one that is in all three of ours is the Acclaimed, or two of them, sorry, that are in ours, the Acclaimed and the BCC.
So we've got Acclaimed at number 1 for Lloydy, number 3 for you, and number 5 for me. So it's got to go middle of the road, hasn't it?
And then.
So I personally,
Regal, we've got 3, 2, and.
So I personally would have the 2 and 3 spots as the Acclaimed and the Regal card, but I'd have the Acclaimed over the Regal card. Just because of the price that it is now and the price it's going to be in the future. Yeah. And it's the rookie card of this crisis.
The rookie aspect.
Okay, so Acclaimed at number 2, gold, done. BCC, number 3.
Regal
the first
BCC
gold.
3. Yeah.
Okay.
Then it gets a little tricky.
So we've all got an MJF card. Now, me and Chris have both got the Devil or the Joker revealed. But you haven't always. So do we give preference to the Joker reveal and put that number 4?
I love how you guys are struggling on this. It's an easy one. It's an easy one.
Well, why did you say? What did you leave number 1 blank?
It's MJF. It's you can put in All In and the Devil both if you want to, but it's just MJF. You know, you could put in his silver as, with the silver of when he won the belt. You can put any of MJF cards on there. He's going to be at number 1.
Okay, MJF.
So you can just put all MJF MDM cards.
Because he's also had other good golds and silvers through the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I was about to say, has he ever had a base in match day moments? He always seems, because he's one of the most popular. He does seem to always get the gold and silver.
Yeah, because he's had like his title wins and stuff. Yeah,
I don't know that he's had a base. Yeah. Wait, yes, he did. The latest one, All Out, with Adam Cole.
Just put all
All Out one. Yeah.
Just all. Cause parallels for the minute.
Okay.
Golds and silvers.
Number 4, we have to put Saraya in there. And number 5 is CM Punk.
I want Punk on this list, that blank also, because that's going to be a chase down the line.
Well, this is chase now, mate. It's still fucking expensive.
I think it's more of a chase.
It's going to be even more fucking expensive. Yeah.
I'd put Punk at 4 and Saraya at 5 if you want to get a bit of all-in action on there. Or no?
Oh.
No, I wouldn't.
Simply because if we do it by the fact that it didn't make your list, Jamie, it didn't make my list, and it's 5 on Dave's and Saraya one on mine.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I would just say
no. I agree. I do agree.
No, I forgot because your list is run the wrong way, Chris. You see, I thought
because your list
is your number 1. Yeah, I'll take that. So we've got Saraya Torre, and then at number 5 we've got CM Punk Auto.
Saraya Torre.
Saraya. Yeah. That's what
with her Union Jack boobs.
That's right.
Bap baps.
Bap, bap.
Bap bap.
Boom.
Nice. So let's lock that in before we change our mind then. MJF at number 1, Acclaimed at number 2, being their rookie gold. BCC at number 3, being the first ever gold that we had on Epack. Saray Ya at number 4. And then number 5, the CM Punk blank auto that you could ask for an auto if you wanted to, but it would ruin the rarity of it.
Yeah. No, I don't think either one. You could have had the auto on it. It's not offensive to have the auto on it. But
how did you get the auto? Did you have to send it off and ask for it?
No, you had to go and see him. Yeah, you'd have to go to it.
Oh, there was no replacements done.
Didn't they say that if you sent it back, they would send you just a regular...
Yeah. Oh, a regular preview card, that was it.
Yeah, so everyone was like, I probably shouldn't send this back.
So, yeah. And I don't know... I mean, he did sign them. I don't know if he still does sign them.
Would.
I don't think he will at this point.
No.
You probably don't want to fucking see it ever again.
Not at the moment. Probably rip it up.
Which leads us nicely into our closing for this week. So we're getting to the final bit of this week's show. Lloydy, you're the hostess for the mostess next time round. What are we going to do for big topic and top 5?
So top 5, ironically, and I hadn't actually thought about one. Weirdly, I normally micromanage fucking everything in my life. But ultimately, I hadn't thought about one, and we spoke about it before we came on air. And I, for a laugh, I said CM Punk cards. So fuck it, let's do your top 5 CM Punk cards. And we're like, normally when we do this is like personal choice kind of thing. No, we're going to rate these fuckers and we're definitely going to mega 5 these. So that's going to be interesting because
we've never done CM Punk cards before, have we?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's fine. I just had this horrible idea that we might have done it, but that's fine. Let's do that.
Have we?
I don't know.
You've got us worried now, Joe.
I'm just wondering if I just remember...
Check your notes.
We do talk about Punk a lot. Yeah. Let's keep it as it is. I don't know if... I just remember doing a Pit CM Punk search in the past and talking about like the 2004 Pacific and all that.
Was that with rookies though? Or
no,
maybe. Like, I'll have a look. I'll go through the archive.
When we did the one that was like AEW, TNA, WWE, was it maybe that?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's go with it. We haven't, but yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, we could do a cut version, which we won't because you never cut anything, Jamie, and make us all look like arseholes. We love it, really.
And the audio.
And just say, we may change it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We may change it.
Just keep it as it is.
Just
I'm sure you're safe.
Jamie, look over your notes. You got all the notes, haven't you?
No.
No, like...
Fuck, I didn't even have all the Mega 5s last year, let alone all the last show notes.
No. Have you got all the Mega 5s?
Yeah, I have somewhere.
Just have
Don't pick me on the spot now. I don't
not now.
Do anything.
Not now. Just have a quick look at some point and just tell us.
Fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'll miss out. We can edit and change.
Chris, go. You're not going to. You're not going to. You put hold music when Chris went out of pay.
I will. Yeah. I will do some wizardry. Don't you worry. There'll be some wizardry.
Okay.
And if we have done it, I'll say we'll confirm next time.
Okay. But one thing that we haven't definitely done is the big topic. So we're going to have a look. We've talked a bit about custom cards. So we're going to dive into the world of custom cards. Next big topic. They're becoming more of a thing I would say over the last couple of years, they definitely have grown.
Post-COVID, I think.
Yeah. They are. I think they've just got better, and I think there's more of them. But we'll go into the specifics of it next week. I think that would be quite a good one. And that's it for me, really. Go on, Jamie. Sign us out.
Let's do this. So if you want to find us on Facebook, as always, head over to Facebook, search for us on there. We're at Squared Circle Relics Podcast on Facebook. Come join the group, enjoy the chat, enjoy Wrestling Card Wednesday, any competitions. We had Adam Anwar do a break in the group yesterday with his select,
It's good to see that again.
Yeah, I've missed seeing some rips. I think it's because we haven't really had much on available, really, but that's nice to see him do that in there. So
it's good to see.
Oh, shout out
on the Facebook group.
We didn't do this last time, so shout out for Adam as well. He did a YouTube review of All In, and we were mentioned on there. So thank you, mate.
Shout out.
It is appreciated.
Yeah, no, good dude.
And it was a good watch. Actually, I agreed with most of what he was saying. So
cool.
It's very cool.
So so that was really cool. So come over to the Facebook group if you're interested. Instagram, head over to Instagram. I'm trying to do a few more posts on there now. I've got a few more cards that I'm ready to scan up. So look out for some more pictures on the Instagram feed. I was kind of hoping we might get a bit of Tori Wilson love this week after she wanted images of her cards. So I jumped on that straight away, and she hasn't done fuck all. She hasn't even seen it, I doubt. She probably don't give two shits about our Instagram feed.
Tag her in the one I bought the other week where it's Ashley and it's
that'll keep her on
send her that one. Yeah, there you go.
So Instagram, Squared Circle Relics Pod on Insta. And if you want to find me, I am on X. Back on it, boys.
He's back. He lasted a week.
Yeah, it didn't last that long, did I? I am back on there though, so if you want to search for me, you can find me at Jamie Stocker on there. Old habits die hard. That's it for me, really. You boys, give your plugs.
Cool. So, as always, Cambridge Trading Cards on Instagram and YouTube. Nothing new on my YouTube at the moment. I've been struggling with time. I don't have much time where I haven't got a not screaming, but shouting 2-year-old with me. So not much time to do stuff. I didn't include this in purchases, but I have bought a box of Metal, so that will be going on there soon. Yeah. And I was going to say about Adam opening the box on our Facebook group. So thanks to Adam for that. It was entertaining. And you can watch that back on our Facebook group as well. So that's pretty much it from myself. Dave, messages?
No. Lloydy the Prez?
No. To be fair though, I speak to Johnny obviously quite regularly, and it's always through. But it's always through Insta. So okay, nobody does me. Fine.
Don't count.
SCR pod on X is I haven't done much on it recently, lads. But time again, Chris. That's the thing.
It's life, isn't it?
And we've spent so much time and effort doing our new thing that we're doing. Exactly.
A few other bits.
Exactly.
So
it's hopefully back to business as usual at some point when life calms down, I suppose. But
things go back to normal.
But that's all from us, I think.
All right, I think we're done.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, boys, we'll see you on episode 34. We're nearly up to Lloydy's favourite number of episodes as well, actually.
Ooh, close, yeah.
Can we get
Is it gonna
can we
work
get
on
Kevin
this?
Smith in to do my favourite number? That would be amazing. Does he do a cameo?
Cameos.
Spend £1,000 on a cameo just for him to go 37. Fuck. That'd be amazing.
Oh, dude, we're nearly there.
I know. I can't wait. I didn't even think about that, and I'm so excited. I'm like
It might come round to your number, actually. If not, we'll make
That's
it.
what I was wondering, if it's going to be on
is it?
Dave's week.
No.
Yeah, it will be, yeah.
35.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is your week.
You're doing
No way, I get 37.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
On that note, right, we'll see you later, boys.
Oh, fuck John Cena.
Oh, thank God. It scared me.